Well, hey kids, here we are again, getting ready to play Ryozen. Jim's here a little early. We're getting set up, and we're waiting for our other two players to show up. But we're gonna hang out here a little bit. You'll get to see the opportunity for the setup, how the setup works, and listen to us banter a little bit. Jim is really stretching outside of his comfort zone and sitting in a different spot at the table. This is an improvement. We like it. We like it.
Which is really useful because you can never see me where we're sitting anyways.
What? You can see you're perfectly visible right here. Look.
Yeah, so we always turn the camera off because of my ugly mug.
We don't turn the camera off. We just make it very small. It's very small. It shows up beautifully on the screen,
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're gonna keep setting up here, and you guys can listen to us, sort out all of our confusion with all the different little pieces, and we'll wait for Glenn and Derek to show up, and then we will have a grand old time.
Or as we like to refer to it, Rule Lawyer Sunday.
Rule Lawyer, that's true. Yes. You should have seen us. We were in maximum Rule Lawyer mode on Tuesday playing Dungeon Card.
I heard that.
There were some
how did that go? That's an interesting looking game.
It was great. We had a fantastic time. Had a load of fun chasing each other around the map. Michael won as usual because he always wins the first time he plays anything, I swear. And we'll see if we can't break that sometime. It hasn't been every time, but it has been a preponderance of times. All right, so I'm assuming each player gets one of these references for the daytime and nighttime effects and rewards.
These, I believe, are Kickstarter extras or additions to these.
Okay. We do have a Kickstarter deluxe version because Jim and I don't do anything simple when it comes to games on Kickstarter. Flippy, how's it going, man? Good to see you.
Why spend half as much when you can spend twice as much?
Thanks for coming to hang out with us.
Garbage?
Yeah. These are the final village. That's the final village card. And these are the other village things. So I think these just shuffle. Do we have to actually pull out 4? Is that how it works, I think? We're just going to make up some rules for ourselves as we go along here and correct them later.
Correct them.
Pay attention. Pay attention, viewers. We have some new elements in the Twitch channels here. We've got some new emotes for subs and followers, so please make use of those. And you're going to find a new feature that shows up once we get to the actual gameplay screen that I think is important for us to have implemented. Well, I'll just keep it a surprise because nobody knows it yet. I'm the only one that set it up, so you'll get to. This will be the first time that you'll get to see it in action. So I am shuffling I think these are the village tiles for the rim, I think is what it's called. And these.
Do you remember what it said in the rules? We all get.
For apprentices?
Yeah, we get like
4.
4 apprentices
and one
fighter each.
Yep, 1 warrior.
Warrior or fighter?
Was today game day? I am concerned about that response, Docon. Are you not on your way? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Oh my goodness.
I believe.
Why is that past tense?
I am seriously concerned at the moment because hopefully he's not up in Vancouver getting the pinwheel displays that I just identified for him yesterday at Dice Age, but he ended up having to work. Well, now, what am I supposed to do? Flippy, I think we may need you to come save us here, man. Since I know you're not far away, but we'll see. The fact that Glenn isn't here either is concerning because I know that he was up camping. Well, he wasn't camping. He was at a scout camp teaching archery. Because that's what we need to teach our young children these days is how to shoot with bow and arrow.
More importantly, how to shoot with tools that don't require power or electricity.
That's right, for the coming days.
Yes. Way things are going, this is totally appropriate.
Yes. We might be in for a 2-player game here, Jim. We're going to have to see how this goes.
It does support a solo mode. I can go home, play some
Don't
games, just
don't
kind of leave
abandon
you
me.
to it. Oh my
Oh goodness! All right, let's see here. We'll get into some setup here.
Some setup. So, okay. So
I was just say that it's going to change though. If we have to turn the board,
we're gonna have to completely flip it over.
Let's
do all sorts of stuff.
let's at least get a text sent out.
Yeah,
here.
let's get a head count. Let's see who we
See
really
who
got
we really
today.
have. Okay.
Apprentice. So all these ones labeled apprentice. We're pulling out. There's some interesting variants to this game too. If I was looking, I think it was in the second book there, the one called Extra.
Yes.
Has a lot of like variants and stuff in it too. So there's like some really cool things you can do with this one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we need these unsorted so that we can find the appropriate types. Do you recall?
No, they were randomized. In fact, in a full stack, if I don't, if I remember correctly, because they could randomly come out of any, like you could have any. Oh, well, no, they had to be in separate stacks. So you shuffle. That's right. You put them here. So they're each stack is shuffled.
It looks like all archers are identical. All
Yes,
are identical.
all of the types are the same, and they're just for each color.
Mm-hmm.
And then you shuffle each color's stack and put them up here, and then when you take one of your own, then you flip a new one out.
Okay, so all the apprentices are the ones that we want to separate out because those are like all of our starting ones.
Yes, we start with the 4 apprentices.
Everything else is pretty much randomized after that.
Yes. Well, and the one fighter. So let's
So
see.
for starters, I'm just trying to separate the apprentices.
Dad's got his glasses.
Yeah, at least you forgot them here and not someplace else like you usually do. I remember one too many conversations where your glasses ended up in some other district.
Derek's glasses are the ones that don't make it here. And he just suffers. I got a 3-pack at Costco the other day. It's like, okay, now I can afford to hand out glasses to those who need them.
He's like my coworker. My coworker needs glasses. He keeps saying he needs to go make an eye appointment, and he just never quite gets around to it. And I think he's just doesn't want to admit he's old now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, yeah. I sympathize, but when he can't read the digital board that's in our 10x10 room from across the room, you know,
that could be a problem.
we have a little bit of an issue.
Yep. Okay, so here we go.
Okay,
That's
I
right,
may have found. Oh no, I got one more stack to go.
Shuffle the village pile, place next to the village secretary. Okay, so yeah, we just shuffle this stack, and it goes where this card is. See that, I think?
And I wasn't quite sure on the packing and organizing, so this all here was obvious. This I wasn't sure about, and I have an extra, so I'm not sure how I was supposed to organize differently than I did.
Maybe the money.
No, these are all represented here.
Oh, down there.
We've got 3D tokens for all of that stuff. All those paper tokens are
Unnecessary. Okay.
no. We spend all the monies here.
So that's right. What was I thinking? Okay, so I guess you get to see the available village at the top of the stack.
So yeah, I mean, maybe there's something about those guys that need to be separated into 2 piles.
Yes.
Or...
When there are 3 types, I throw them all over the table. There's 3 types, so I mean, they make sense to just put them all together because they don't have to be separated at all.
Maybe we put the starting apprentice tokens in one of them to keep them separate from all this stuff. That might make sense.
That would be helpful, yeah, if you were to put like the starting pieces.
Yeah, I didn't see any point in doing like a 1 per player sort of a thing.
I mean, it's not.
Although-
There's not a whole lot there.
Although if these are separated 1 per player, then no, that still wouldn't make sense.
I mean, there are 2
No.
per player. I mean, there's 2.
There's like 3 pieces per player, I think, but there's like a set per player in there. Yeah, I'm not sure how else I could have organized that differently. So somehow we have an extra dish that I don't know what goes inside of it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it will become apparent as we play.
Yes. Fun stuff.
Both of us. Okay.
So far, it's still just us, huh?
Yep, haven't received a response from Glenn, so we might just want to flip the board over.
Okay, so these all just get shuffled, the remaining ones?
Separated by color, and then each stack is shuffled per the player to be able to flip them out into the market.
Those is a beautiful set of words, and I think you have a full grasp of exactly what we need to do.
I do.
Here is a bunch of things for you.
Allow me to assist.
Short of, I think we need 4 fighters, right? Or well,
yes,
two fighters. Or actually, is it different for 2 players?
You get an extra apprentice. Also, what color do you want to be? I guess.
But the apprentice is all you need to be sorted by color, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I can just separate the fighters out. That's fine.
What was that?
Well, at some point you have to choose a color.
I'll take purple.
Purple. Okay.
Kind of my go-to. Yeah, but no, I brought Quinn with me because he's just sitting at home doing nothing right now.
Oh, Quinn. Sitting nothing. You're not even watching the stream? Shameful.
I know. I keep telling him to. And sometimes he does. Sometimes if I send a message to remind him that we're up.
Well, I always appreciate that.
So I took the purple. I don't know which color you want.
I will be this orangish color, I think.
There's those then, and we will set these ones aside. We'll just go ahead and use the other tray because we don't know what else to do with it. I don't know if they'll all fit in there when we pack it up, but
I will.
they look pretty like that.
I will keep the.
We got a couple of miniatures too. I can't remember in the video what the miniatures
I
represented.
have the impression that not much.
I think one of them might just be a first player marker.
That's this one, I think, unless there's something.
Oh, maybe
like
that's what that. Maybe one of these is supposed to replace the first player marker.
Okay.
Because,
I know that
a lot of these components were made to like replace the paper.
Yeah.
Versions of it.
All right. So did you take your apprentices?
So I got a stack of purple apprentices
There's
here.
your fighter.
And a fighter. So maybe that's the idea, is we make this tray here the starter kit for the players.
Okay.
See how that works out. Alright. Oh, there's a fighter of each color too?
Yeah, there should be.
Oh, so there's exactly...
Each stack has the exact same items.
Okay, but the
They're
fighters
just
are for the players.
For starting.
And the starting.
Correct.
And all the rest are the other ones.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense to me now.
I feel like there are a lot more of these than
So in that
they
case,
indicated.
you got your fighter for your orange yet?
No, I haven't found it yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the blue and the green out, and I'll put it with the
Yep, that's why I separated them out. Figured you'd want to
yeah.
put them in there.
I don't know if they're gonna fit there no longer, but we'll see if that works out.
So there are several more of these. I thought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. There are 14 of these. Now I think in the video you linked, they only said there were like 9. So clearly they've added some.
Could be for some of the variant.
Some detail, some extra goodies here.
Glenn, you're supposed to be sitting here reading the rules.
Yeah, so that we can get them wrong and figure it out later. We know you. We feel you.
You know, there are easier ways to get out of this.
Right? I got shot by an arrow. I used to be a board gamer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Okay, so.
Let's see. The sectors, game maps, components. Probably set up. That's probably the page we want.
So these two.
Okay.
Are, this one's out and this one's out. And this one's you. I'm going to shuffle these. Assemble the tiles.
So
Need a bag.
before we get too much on top of this, let's go ahead and do that flipping of the board that we have to do.
Oh yeah, there's that, isn't there?
So
Fewer spaces and more pieces.
it's a nice little anchor they made for the rotating piece in the middle.
Mm-hmm. That way it doesn't go all destructive on the board after you have stuff in place.
Right. Which is quite often the biggest problem is stuff getting bumped on boards that have physical movement in
Yep.
their design.
Yep.
And I feel it's not an over-engineered solution too, which I also don't like that. I don't like when they make it so complicated or so intricate that really you just got a lot of moving pieces that are going to wear out early.
I mean, they could have gone with a dual layer board.
Another thing I absolutely love, these you assemble them and they've got place in the box where
Spot
they stay
box.
assembled. You
I
don't
wonder, do you think that's a deluxe feature or is that part of the base design?
That is a good question. I believe the box for the base design is it the same? I think it's different. I think the base one doesn't have like all of these things. 'Cause I've seen a picture of it being repacked, and what people will typically do is take all the inserts out and then put everything in it because it's a physically smaller box.
Oh, okay.
So I think it is.
Well, it doesn't come with the plastic pieces, right?
And it doesn't come with the plastic pieces, it doesn't come with the nice game trays, holders, or whatever brand they decided to do this through. But they did customized ones with Tabula Games written on top.
Pretty nice.
Alright, so this then goes back where this was on the two-player, I assume?
Yep, that is still the shrine piece.
And then these go over here. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, so two-player game, flip the board like we did.
Yep.
And place the Phoenix Palace on top like we did.
Yep.
Assemble together the 3 levels, which are already done. So
Done.
maybe that is the thing on the standard version is you have to disassemble them to fit them
Every
in the
time.
box.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Which, as much as those like little hinges tend to wear apart, I really do like that I can keep them assembled.
Yep.
I really would have preferred like a 3D miniature to replace those. That would have been cool.
That would have been amazing and expensive.
And very expensive. And, you know, move. Take all the moon shards from the box, divide them by color, and place them near the game board. Which
They are right
I
here.
thought you did. Okay.
Moon charger here.
It says separate them by color, but I
Yeah,
don't know if we really need
we
to.
can dig through the little
Yeah, we'll find what we need.
thingy.
Not that many choices.
Nope.
Be different if there were, yeah, to count them. The players who most recently has seen a phoenix, real or fictional.
Damn, I meant to go watch Harry Potter recently and didn't. It was either that or X-Men.
I've been listening to the Valdemar series, and I heard a reference to a fire bird.
I guess that's as close as we're gonna get. Congratulations, you are the first player.
Boo. What was I thinking? Each player chooses a clan. Yeah, I almost think that these are supposed to be our alternative to first players because they don't really
Well,
come up anymore.
maybe this one, this dragon token, I guess, could be it. They said this is the Eternal Phoenix, whatever. Eternal, I don't know. Looks more like a Kitsune to me, but I guess that could be fire back there too. And it's the arrival of the awakening of the Eternal Phoenix that is the end of the game. So it's like, well, I mean, I'm concerned this is just
a piece that only comes out at the end of the game.
And it doesn't do anything. I mean, I understand, minis are cool and all that, but I mean, give them a purpose, please.
All right. Well, let's say the dragon is the first player marker because that's cooler.
Sure.
All right. And okay.
You have a couple decks of cards in front of you that are the events and the.
Yes, I have not done anything with these other than
Special.
separating them out into 2 piles. So
Shuffle these up.
my guess is we're going to hit an instruction that says shuffle them any minute. Take all the moon shards out of the box. The player who most recently seen Phoenix. Each player chooses a clan. Places their starting set of kin in front of them, which are these guys here.
Yep.
Unveiled side up. So we got the unveiled side and the veiled side.
Yep. The ninja side.
For a 2-player game, use a 6-kin set, 5 apprentice and 1 fighter.
Yep.
Which is the full stack. Take all the resources from the box and divide them up. Already done. Each player then takes 3 scrolls, 2 lanterns, and 4 coins. I love these scrolls too. These are just so beautifully done.
3?
Yes.
Okay.
And 4. Okay. Each player places their favor token, which is the little one with the wings, on the 0. Who's got the 0?
0?
Okay.
Oh, are these the player order tokens? Those are neat.
Yes, those are the player order tokens. The first player places their herald token, which is what we call those, on the first slot in the capital track. Oh, and that's the other way we can tell. We can see
2 players.
2 players, 2 spots.
Yep.
I keep getting lost here. Every player takes the remaining kin tiles of their clans, shuffles them. Oh, I get it. So we got a stack for each color, and then within that we've got
All the types.
there are different types in each color, and then we got our personal stacks. Okay, it gives me a better idea how I can organize
We
it.
replace apprentices with these.
Right, they're kind of like our starting cards.
Correct.
It's almost got a deck builder feel to it.
A little bit. Because these also come out randomly.
Right, right. Each player, but we get to choose which one we're buying, though.
Of your own.
Right?
Of your own color,
Yeah.
yes. I'm assuming that setup's going to tell us that because you're the first player, you're going to get an extra one out here. I don't know, though.
True. All right, so each player takes the remaining kin, which we did. The clubhouse is set up. That is the clubhouse. In order to play, each player reveals the top kin of their clan's pile and places it in the first available slot of the clan house, starting from the lower cost slot.
You said the start with the starting player?
Yes.
Okay, so
So
what's
we
the
do
lower
a
cost slot?
purple one, and then we do an orange one, and then what do we go back to purple again, or
have to
do we
assume
leave the last ones?
No, we do populate it, I think. What does it say again?
In order to play, each player reveals the top kin of their clan's pile and places it in the first available slot, starting from the lowest cost. So I think we just do those 2 and we stop.
Okay.
Because in the 4-player game picture they got, there's 5 slots and only the first 4 are populated in the setup.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that is right.
That works.
Take the village tiles and look for the shrine tile, which is
That's
that what
that
that
one.
is?
Yep. It's a different shape.
And place it on. Oh, it is, isn't it? And place it on the last site of the shrine sector as shown in the image.
Yep.
Okay, and they're actually showing it placed face up.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that would be intentional. And it looks just like in the picture.
A picture speaks 1,000 words,
About 20, maybe 25.
They over budgeted.
They actually added them.
Wow. Oh, they bother. You can make these IKEA instructions for setup, for crying out loud.
I know. Hey, I wouldn't complain because, hey, the more words, the better. How many games have we played where they put too few words in, and boy, is that.
Well, yeah, but sometimes they put too many in too, I think.
Yeah, there's a balance. There is. Take all the village tiles, shuffle them. Village pile, the rim, sector face up, which it is.
Nice. That I follow the picture.
Okay.
Plus the shape only fits one way.
Our little shield things, where are they? There should be, okay. Our little shield guys are here.
Yep.
Okay.
That first village action is available to us. It's built as they gain 2 coins.
Those are our pioneer tokens.
Yep.
For a 2-player game, take the first tile of the village pile and place it onto the first empty site next to the starting village.
Ah, okay.
So
we actually build the first one.
the first one goes here like this.
Yep.
Interesting that it's got printing on it.
Well, because it might be a variant, I don't know. Or for solo play,
Or-
possibly.
Or do they mean here?
No. That base one should be built. Oh no, what's the picture show? Is there a picture?
They don't have a picture of the 2-player version of that.
And the 4-player version doesn't build one, does it?
No.
Read it again.
Let me back up. So each player places their Pioneer token as shown below,
On that +2
which
coin.
is on that +2.
Mhm.
The area where they start is the starting village. That is the starting village.
Mhm.
Note the starting village will always be considered as a already built village.
Right.
For a 2-player game, place the first tile of the village pile and place it onto the first empty site next to the starting village, which is here.
Yep.
Interesting that there's even printing there for anything when
For 2-player.
this is the 2-player side.
Is this the solo side also?
It might be different for solo, or maybe for some of the variants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That might be like
So-
a difficulty modifier to not build that.
correct.
We're in ad break.
Okay.
You have a bubbly in the fridge, by the way. I couldn't find peach. Freddy's didn't have any. They had like 8 other flavors. Is there anything other than peach that you would like as favorite?
I like the mango. The mango comes up quite a bit.
Okay,
In fact,
they
I
have
actually
that.
brought a couple mango in the
I
bag.
was going to
too.
bring it. I was going to get it. I was like, I thought mango, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it until I know he likes it.
I'm going to throw my mangoes in the fridge then, and I'll grab the peach.
That works for me.
Take all the event cards, shuffle them face down from the event pile, place it next to the gate sector, which you did. I'm assuming they actually got it in the
Mm-hmm.
other one. This is the,
Oh,
or
that's
whatever.
the discard?
It matches the picture that way.
Sure. But the
Rules.
symbol is in the back.
I agree.
Because this one does go on the symbol. That's fine.
I agree. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I don't know why they do it that way. Because in the picture, they have a picture that way, but I agree that if I would see that,
Symbology-wise.
that would make me think that's the back of the card, and so we don't want to see that. That's just an indicator, yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter. Unless we had a stickler like, Derek here, who would,
He's such a stickler.
yeah, he's such a stickler. He always has to have that first player token.
Right.
He's always watching the rules.
Always
making
puts
sure
the
that-
tokens up right.
Waits exactly till his turn starts and
I-
will not move,
I
move
totally
a
don't.
moment
I
sooner.
totally don't do that at all. And he moves quickly and efficiently and moves on. It's like, dang.
I know it's disgusting. Take all the revelation cards that you did, shuffle them face down, what you did, revelation pile. I'm mostly
that's these
looking
cards?
at these are the revelations.
Those are revelations. These are events.
Those are events,
Okay,
yes. And place it on the slot in the spring sector, which this is spring. Which you might want
The
to
springs.
You might want to explain that each of these
The
sections
springs.
for your viewers.
Right.
Each of
So
these
yeah,
sections.
so this section here, and I guess I should push us to the overhead view so that you guys can see. And we're playing 2 players, so let's do this guy. So you can see that we have this section here is called the rim, and it's where villages are built on the rim of the territory leading up to the shrine, right? So this is here.
Right.
And then you have this is the springs. I don't remember the name of the sections. I know that this
Right.
section is where you get your upgraded kin, and it has pieces put out here. And I apologize for the glare. I still haven't covered
Here we
up
go.
the door.
So you can tell which sector it is by the color of the fan.
Oh, interesting.
So here's our sectors.
Yeah, so you have the gates. That's where the enemy's trying to get in, and so you have your events happening at the gates, right?
And
the
then
capital, right? You said.
Yep.
And that's where you determine turn order, and you can put a guy here to.
And each of these has a daytime effect and a nighttime effect too.
Well, yeah, and daytime is when you're doing like active things with your kin, and then after they're done, you go to the nighttime phase, and then nighttime has to do with your influence of your characters in those sections,
right?
For what rewards you get for that influence, and then finally there's a cleanup and what they call dawn, I think, where the new day is starting.
So then we got the rim over here,
which is actually both of these sections technically.
No,
although they do different
this
things.
This is the rim, and this is the shrine.
Yeah, so you got, but the village completion area for the rim extends all the way out here. So when you go to build a village,
there's her picture right there.
There you go. When you go to build a village here, you do it in a path along this whole section out here.
Right. And then the final one, the blue one over here.
The springs. That's where you can get special abilities that are unique to you. So we'll put cards out here that have abilities, and you can buy one and collect it and give yourself a special ability.
Oh, not the final one. Okay, then we got the clan house.
The clan house is what this is called, and that's where you upgrade your apprentices.
And then the last would be the red, which
that's got to
Phoenix
be
Palace.
the
It's
palace,
gotta be this.
and that's this rotating section here. And so the cool thing about this is that when you take an action here, after you're done with your action, this rotates one segment.
And it closes because you can see a wall right here.
Yep. Only these sections are active. So the sections that are not walled off are the ones that it's tied to that you can activate in that area. So when you first start the game, you just put this in a random position. And then when a player takes an action on it, rotates and makes new sections available. So even if they're full, right, because you can only put a limited number of kin in these areas, this will enable you to still activate those areas. But you don't get the benefit of the kin that you placed in there if they have a special ability, like the fighter, who can either expose a cloaked individual or remove a non-cloaked individual. And it can be yours or your opponent's.
So we do have a specific starting position for it. It appears that this is...
No, you're going by the drawing?
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't, I don't think it says to start it there.
It actually does.
Interesting. So
it says, when setting up the rotating board, align the highlighted sectors to the sectors of the board as shown in the previous images.
So the video
you can randomly
linked must have been on a pre-final version of the game.
Right. And it says you can randomize it, but the official starting place is that.
Well, we might as well start it that way for our first game.
Exactly. That makes sense. All right, so I think we are through... Oh, we are almost all through the setup. So we place the cards, and then we want to reveal the top 3 cards of the revelation pile, place them in their appropriate slots, and you are ready to start the game.
We don't put these out?
No, it has no additional instructions for the others.
These are supposed to be removable. So I think in this section we might have missed that we have to actually put them out.
No, take all the event cards, shuffle them face down, and form the event pile and place it next to the gate sector. Then you move on to Revelation.
Daytime phase down there. What does it say?
Daytime phase. Maybe that's the first step. The daytime phase. Okay, how to play. Course of 3 rounds. I like games that have fixed rounds like that.
Yep.
Each one is composed of 3 phases: daytime, nighttime, and dawn.
Oh,
which is so beautiful.
The power changes.
Right.
As you level up. I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yeah, and also on here too.
Yeah, because it shows this is the base ability, and then the next round it will add that capability.
Right.
And in the final round, there's also an additional.
And it has stuff only on 2 sides of it. So.
I don't know if that matters. I don't think the side matters, but
it adds an additional thing, I think, when it comes into play.
With each round. Yep.
Okay, at the beginning of the daytime phase, reveal cards from the top event deck until you fill all the foreseen event slots. This is what's going to happen in the future. Our shamans have predicted.
Sinister Shadows. Lose 1 victory point for each highlighted sector where there is at least 1 kin of yours. Highlighted sector. Is that based on this? The term highlighted is capitalized, so it must be a keyword. Lose 1 resource for each cloaked kin of yours on the board. And that's for burglaries. And then undercover enemies. Hit 1 kin of yours in every sector where there are at least 2 kin of yours. And I believe the word hit is that same idea where like the fighter hits their opponent and either uncloaks them or removes them from the section depending on what state.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
That's my guess.
That flip side of the board, by the way, it's an alternate mode for the temple. It's got a whole different set of rules on how to handle the temple.
Excellent.
In an alternate mode.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. Looking for some references for some of these keywords. Oh, we got references for each of the cards. That is brilliant. I love when they do this. All right, so which one was that? Sinister Shadows?
Yes, we're talking about a highlighted sector.
Lose 1 favor for each highlighted sector where there's a... Okay, that's what it already says. That was not useful.
That's Sinister Shadows? That's victory point, not resource, though.
Lose 1 favor point. For
favor point, got it.
Yeah, which I think is what they call their victory
points.
points. For each highlighted sector where there is at least 1 kin of yours.
So in theory, it'd be nice if there was a glossary.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping to find here at the back.
That is not what this book does. Asymmetric variant.
Yeah, that looks interesting, doesn't it?
Oh, you just get random upgraded kin.
You start out with a tribe that's already randomly built for a particular play style.
Interesting.
And then you adapt to that.
Yep.
I am not seeing reference to highlights. Hopefully that'll come up in the instructions in a little bit because I'm not seeing a glossary that says what that means.
Okay. Well, there's always Board Game Geek.
There is. After the event setup, players take turns starting from the first player clockwise. Dang, that's me.
That's you. What do you do?
All right, player turn. At the beginning of my turn, you may resolve 1 of your at beginning of your turn revelations.
Which we don't have yet. We do have 3 revelations. Seal of the Clan House gives you 1 favor point. Whenever you perform the Clan House daytime effect, first reveal 1 extra kin of yours. So I think, my recollection is when you take this action, it reveals 1 kin for you. And then you can buy 1 and fill in the gap. I don't remember if there's a methodology for causing 1 to drop off if you don't take 1. Does that make sense? So you reveal 1 kin.
Reveal 1 plus 1. Well,
I don't know what the plus 1 means necessarily, but then I do remember that you can then get one of the. You can always get a free one. There's always the one this side is free, and the other ones are based on color. Now the way this works, I wonder if you have to take one.
you know, we're always really good at the setup, and that's where it kind of falls apart.
Well, I only watched the video once, and clearly it was not the final version. So.
Yeah, I concur.
This one's easier. The Seal of the Rim is worth 2 favor points. Whenever you perform the Rim daytime effect, gain 2 favor points. So it's a favor point booster for daytime Rim effects, which is this space here, or if you do it here.
Oh, okay. So they do have write-ups on each of these sections here. So, daytime effect.
Yes, so the clan house.
You may reveal a kin in the clan house.
Mm-hmm.
You may acquire any of the ready kin of your color from the clan house, pay its cost, and gain the favor points indicated on the slot.
Okay.
So
you may.
I may.
And then at the end of that,
reveal and acquire. So that's the nighttime rewards, that section over there. That's pretty much all it says. So it does define reveal.
And acquire. Because we need to
and
know whether or
acquiring.
not what happens like at the cleanup of the acquiring.
Okay, so the acquiring, you pay the amount of coins indicated at the bottom slot where it is located. The newly acquired kin must replace one of your kin. You can either replace a kin in your hand or placed on the board. That's nice.
But you don't get to activate their ability if you do that.
Correct. If you replace a kin on the board, the newly acquired kin must be placed in the same way that the previous kin was, either unveiled or cloaked, but you won't perform a placement ability, nor pay any coin. Put the discarded kin back in the box, then gain the favor points indicated
Under the slot where you
purchased it. Lastly, on the clan house, slide all the kin to the left so that the empty slot is always the rightmost. Well, I'm going to cheap out and do something real easy. I'm going to buy a kin because I just read how to do that.
Well, so there's also, but there's a condition that exists that we haven't covered.
Yeah.
And that is, you go take that action, and then you flip a guy out, and then you don't take one? Or are you required to take one?
Those were both mays. They were very specific in saying you may reveal a kin.
Okay.
So you don't have to.
Okay.
And you may acquire one of the ready kin of your color from the clan house.
Okay.
So basically what I can do is, if I play here, if I'm following this correctly, let's go ahead and do this just because we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I do this. Now I may reveal another kin. If I do, he's going to end up in that third slot over there.
Understood.
So he's going to be expensive.
Yep.
But I don't have to take him, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
But you don't have to take him either.
I don't have to take either one of them. I can just reveal him to get him on the board and decide, I think I'll wait till later until like he's cheaper because he's the one I really want.
But then does the bottom one slide out because all three spaces are taken?
No, the bottom one doesn't, none of them slide out unless you've acquired them. So I think there's going to be a phase where we see those get wiped out and the new ones come in.
I don't like that. Because then, if I were to do it right after you, I'm unable to reveal one because there's no slot for it. I'm forced to take this one.
The one but in exchange for that, you're also getting some victory points. And that's where your trade-off is. You're spending money, but you're getting some victory for getting the more expensive one.
I suppose so, but I don't get any options.
No,
I'm just wondering if that imbalance is intentional in the design. So I don't have a problem with it necessarily, as long as I understand.
Okay, let's look at reveal. Take one kin from your clan pile and place it face up on the first spell slot from left to right. In case there are none, discard the first kin in the row, the leftmost, and slide all the others to the left. So that's
it is.
That's how you push them out.
That's how you push them out. So if you don't take that freebie,
I might lose him on your turn.
You could lose it if I decide to do it, because then he will kick out to reveal. So you always reveal and make a space for it.
And being that he's a mentor, which means he can actually
do this action without going in there.
I think I want him.
Well, so first of all,
and he's free.
You took this action, so we reveal here.
No. I'm not revealing. I have the choice.
You're choosing not to reveal.
I'm choosing not to reveal.
Okay, so you're taking. So you're not revealing, and then you're going to acquire this mentor, and it can replace an apprentice either in your hand or on the board.
Which I'll replace one of these.
Okay, so I'll lose the game. And then this slides down.
That slides down.
And that's it.
Right.
Okay. So the reveal mechanic is what it always happens, and that is what causes that fall off, which is kind of what I was seemed to make sense to me. Like, how can you could just clog up the entire area and nobody could reveal?
Right.
No, they have made a mechanic for that.
Maybe it would have been smarter for me to have revealed, because then if you decided you wanted to reveal because you didn't like that one, you may end up paying more, which would benefit me.
This is true, but then you would have lost access to that particular piece.
No, because there was an open slot. I still could have revealed and then.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we'll stick with that.
I was going to say, we'll learn these lessons as we go.
So, I mean, strategically, that could have gone either way.
Right. So that was your
So that was my first placement. Okay, so player's turn. During your turn, proceed with the following actions. Let's see. Kin placement, daytime effect. So kin placement, we did a kin placement, and because I did them face up, I didn't have to pay for them. Daytime effect. Yeah, it says proceed with the following actions, so I'm assuming you do both of these. So, and then daytime effect is doing whatever it is along here. So
which you did,
which I did.
And so I think that's the end of the action.
I think you're right. After resolving the daytime effect, the current player's turn is over. The player to their left begins their turn. Players proceed this way until the last player has placed their last kin, performing their last daytime action. They really want to drive that home.
So it's worker placement.
Then the nighttime phase begins.
Right. Once
Yes.
everybody is out of workers, which in this case I haven't seen there's no mechanism to gain more workers. So that is one interesting thing about this game is that in most worker placement, sometimes there's a mechanism to give players more actions.
Right.
This one does not do that.
It does not appear to. This is very much a get things set for nighttime, and nighttime's when all the cool stuff is going to happen.
Right.
I want to throw this one out there. Golden rule. Every time two or more effects take place at the same time, the player who's playing their turn can decide in which order they want to resolve those effects. So you know this question's going to come up at some point.
Yep. But that makes sense.
So for example,
to me.
if I mentor here, I basically get to do that twice.
If you were to play the mentor in this space,
Right.
yeah, you would take that action twice. That is true. And if you played it somewhere else, you could choose which order to resolve them in.
Correct.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, so I'm trying to figure out this guy. So
Which refrigerator is the bubbly in?
This one here.
This one here?
Mm-hmm. So looking at this counselor gives me 3 favor points or 2 scrolls when I take the capital action, it looks like. Yes, so it gives me 2 scrolls, or I get 2 additional scrolls, or 3 favor points for basically claiming the first player position at the cost of a spark. I do remember that. These are not lanterns, these are sparks.
Ah, okay.
So that's an interesting ability. I am going to do what you did, but I am going to use.
Now, does that mean it costs you a scroll?
It will cost me a scroll to do this.
Okay.
But I'm going to play my fighter.
Which pushes me out of there, right?
Yes, but how does it? I think it puts it to here, so that you can't replay it. Is my understanding?
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that. Let's see. Let's look it up. They actually, so the short write-ups aren't terrible. This is actually kind of a useful reference here, and the fact that they have the pictures of each piece. I like when they do that. So fighter. Hit 1 kin in the same sector of the fighters. See the kin's overview, page 8. Let's see.
Yeah. So what happens when a hit occurs?
The kin. Each kin has 2 sides, unveiled and cloaked. The unveiled side features a kin specific name. The cloaked side. If a cloaked kin gets hit, flip it to its unveiled side. If an unveiled kin gets hit, move it to the Phoenix Palace at the center of the board. The kin needs to recover, but will still provide their influence for the night phase.
Oh, they'll put their influence to the center.
So they'll still put their influence to. I forget how night phase works.
Yeah.
But I know that it has something to do with the number of pieces.
It's
in the
influence, right? It's not in the middle in each sector. So like right now, if we were to go to night phase at this moment, this sector we would each have 1 influence here, and you would win the tie. Right?
Right.
And then you would receive the night reward, which is we would each get 1 coin, but you would also get a purple moon shard.
Okay.
Make sense?
Right.
So then that's what this is in here. If you influence out here at a certain level and you win, the reward is what's on the side of the temple. So that's what these are. It's more rewards, I think. No, that's not. Oh, I'm sorry. They're right here. So it's first player. You get one.
Oh,
one favor point.
You get one resource. I see.
One favor point per. What is this?
Let's see. So the Phoenix Palace, daytime effect. That's what we're looking. Or
Nighttime effect.
nighttime effect. So each player gains one favor for each kin they have placed in the palace.
Oh, okay.
So that's a kin in the palace.
Kin here, okay.
Yes.
And that would be the ones that get bumped there also.
The player with the most influence also gets the first player token.
Right, but you also get a moon shard of your choice.
Ah, okay.
I think it's one, or it can't be one of each. One favor point for each kin that they have there.
Player with the most influence gets the first player. It's interesting. They don't even mention the shard in the. No. Okay. Hold on. Each player gains one favor point for each kin they have placed in the palace and one moon shard of their choice.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I said it. I just didn't hear myself say it.
Yep. and the way you know is that this little symbol here means that's the bonus for the most.
Right, and that's the
Right.
symbol.
Because that shows it here.
And that's the symbol for first
The
player,
first player.
which we're
Well,
using this for.
Well, but no, it's not actually. That symbol is different. So this shows the laurels around it, and that means the person who won the contest.
Oh no, not that.
Everybody gets this.
Not that symbol. I was talking about.
Oh, that's here.
That
First player.
symbol there, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this little one here. So this little green laurel symbol means the person who won the contest.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you see that all around here. All of these have that. So the icons that don't show that, everybody gets.
Right.
The icons that show it are the one who got the most.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is interesting. So you're bumping me out of there into here, but then that opens up that slot now.
It does. It does open it up in case you want to use it again.
I think I have to stay here. I think it bumps you to here because if you're part of this.
No, this is the location this is in. It doesn't matter. Now it's here. So this is one section.
Oh, okay. Okay, and they're giving us 4 different places so we don't cover things though. Okay,
so we don't mix up our little pieces.
Okay.
So they're easier to clear out of there in the end.
Okay.
Okay, so I had to pay a scroll for that action.
All right.
And so now what I can do is I can reveal. So I will reveal one of mine. An archer. So archers are cool because they can do hits at adjacent.
Opposite.
Oh yeah, opposite
side.
Yeah.
Because of the 2 wedges.
Yes, and I think I will do that. I will pay 1 coin for an archer. I'll get rid of one of my apprentices. Actually, that's funny. I could actually replace my fighter if I wanted to, but I don't think
You could, but then you wouldn't be able to use them this round.
And I wouldn't have as much removal. Well, no, because this gives me 2 removal, right? So if I want to open up a slot, I have 2 ways to do it. If I keep this.
But what I'm saying is, if you replace
Understood.
him with him,
Correct.
then
I wouldn't be able to use it this turn.
Right.
But I would still have it. So I wouldn't lose the removal ability. But it would limit it if I choose one or the other. So I will replace one of my apprentices.
Yeah.
And so I'll have that available to use. It costs
And ultimately,
me a
the
coin.
apprentices don't do anything, so it just
They
makes more
do-
sense
they
to
do
replace
nothing.
them first.
Absolutely. And then I get 2 favor points for taking out that slot.
Nice.
And that is the end of my turn.
All right. Okay, so I did something there. I have this wonderful new mentor that's going to allow me to do that again, but I can do something else with him while I'm doing that. So I'm looking at this daytime ring. That's this inner ring here.
Correct.
Let's see, what do we got here? We got fun stuff over here.
Yep. You get you reveal an extra kin when you perform the Clan House Daytime Effect, which I believe also applies to your mentor. So you would reveal.
Yes, because this is described as activate the Clan House Daytime Effect.
Yeah. So if you take this, then every time you do it, you reveal 2.
Okay.
when you reveal. Oh, actually, sorry. It says, whenever you perform the Clan House daytime effect, first reveal one extra kin of yours. So technically, it's like 2 reveal actions, one of which is mandatory.
Reveal one extra kin of yours.
It says first. Whenever you perform the Clan House daytime effect, first reveal one extra kin of yours. So if you take that effect, the first thing that happens is you reveal one. Then you can choose, I want to reveal again, yes or no.
And are those always in effect?
Yes.
Or
Those are permanently yours. It
Okay,
only
so
it
they're
only counts for you.
once acquired, you have to decide whether to discard it to gain. No, wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. So pay the cost of scrolls in the top right corner of each card.
That one doesn't have any. That one costs no scrolls.
It costs no scrolls. That's a good starting point. Once acquired a new revelation, you have to decide whether to discard it to gain as many favor points as depicted on it, or keep it. Place it face up in front of you to benefit from its effects during the game.
Yep.
Note, every time you acquire one or more revelation cards, reveal new cards from the revelation deck to refill the empty spaces. Okay, so that's immediately replaced. So, okay, let's do this. Let's do this, because that golden rule of choosing what order things happen in. So,
now,
correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if I place this, then before I resolve that, I could resolve that.
For sure.
Which means I could take this, which means now I'm going to choose to keep it instead of taking the victory.
Curious, what does +1/+2 mean?
That is a good question. Daytime effect. You may require. Oh, you may acquire up to 2 revelation cards.
Oh, nice. Okay. I noticed this one's interesting. At the beginning of your turn, you may hit one of your kin to gain 1 spark. Is a turn like one of these placed?
So it's referring to turns as every time we place one of our kin. And I base that on.
Oh, we're on break. Hang on just a sec. Before you resolve that, don't save it for when we come back from break.
Oh.
I'm getting used to having commercials. It's kind of weird.
Let me know when to go on.
I've clumped them together. Well, and that's why I put it up here on the screen, so that we can actually see the.
Well, the problem is this one's behind my head and that one's over my shoulder.
I know.
So
right?
I'm not seeing either one of them.
I know. I'm seeing. It's like I'm paying. And even I missed that. You know, I see this. It's like there's a little thing at the top that tells me, but I forget.
The green banner at the top. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see how many seconds are left.
Yes.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Of course, this is delayed. 15, 20 seconds or whatever. So.
All right. So.
Okay, so we were trying to resolve whether or not what turn meant, because this strikes me as
Okay.
a lot of spark generated if you have a means to spend it, which I
Yes.
think.
And I think so. This is what I'm basing it on. Is based on the player's turn instructions. The
Okay.
last thing it says is after resolving this effect, the current player's turn is over, and they bolded that.
Okay, so that's a turn.
So a turn is
Placing a kin,
resolving,
acting, and then ending.
and
so
then
so
handing
then
it to
this
the other
means that at the beginning of your turn, which I presume means before you place your kin,
So it wouldn't work for
the
that.
one you place.
For that, the
But
golden
after
rule wouldn't
that,
apply to it.
after that, every time you could hit one of your kin you placed in, which if it's cloaked, it just flips over, or if it's not cloaked, goes to the palace,
which ultimately could win
builds
me
up your
the-
influence there. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, I wanted to confirm that that turn meant the beginning of each time you place a kin.
So that said, that's not a bad point. Maybe I should try that out. We can see how that.
Well, I
plays
think
out,
you
'cause
took
I
the
got
card that's
scrolls
most
for it.
relevant to you. So
Well, I can choose up to 2.
yeah, exactly.
So
as long as you pay. So and you did.
and I can pay because this one was zero. So
It'll be interesting to see how much we regret spending our resources later.
Right. This is not lost on me. I've also considered just taking that for its victory points, just because that seems to be one of the way that we get those.
Yep.
But it looks like, if I read this correctly, you choose when you pick it up.
And
whether or
these
not you're
don't-
but doing it for the victory points or for the
Ability.
I suppose technically this should have revealed.
Well, that's
first.
what I'm wondering is, do they reveal after purchase or at the end of the phase?
The thing
Or at the end of the round.
said.
Turn.
The thing made it sound like it was as soon as you pick them up. Where was it? Here. Every time you acquire one or more revelation cards. Every time you acquire one or more. So maybe it's
Reveal.
after the acquiring. So if I decide I'm going to acquire 2, I'm acquiring 2, and that is the action.
That's the action. Then they
reveal,
after
which
that.
that seems a little more fair. To me.
Yeah. If you're gonna get 2 of them, you get that combo. It's like, okay, no, we're not gonna let you.
Right, you don't get to go shopping. All right, so yeah, I'll go ahead and take that just because that's an interesting prospect.
Yep.
I want to see how that plays out.
So now your acquisition is
now
done.
these
New ones. Ooh,
Acquisition
my.
is done.
3 scrolls.
Okay, remember that conversation?
Yeah,
about...
well, and I already spent one of mine.
And I
I'm
have
doing
2.
that action. It's like, dang it.
And by the way, I just want to say, anybody who's watching right now, these are like some of the best little miniature tokens I've ever seen. I don't know if you can see these very well,
They are pretty nice.
but like every last one of these is just so beautifully done. And for a mass production token,
it's very satisfying.
they're off the charts.
Yeah, the production values are high.
Yes.
These little lanterns are fantastic. The coins have wonderful details on them.
Just for Tabula Games, they are like one of my favorite, like as far as the quality and art that they put into their games.
Uh-huh.
I don't always agree with their game mechanics. Sometimes they're a little kludgy. This one seems to be pretty good so far. But I've always loved their games because their art is just next level, and design-wise, this is just great.
I feel like their theming kind of demands a better production experience overall.
Yes.
Both from the visual, which are great, but then also the mechanical side. I want to see, I want to see this operate smoothly. I don't want to see like those clunky, jerky, kind of like, oh, I never get the synchronization right on these turns.
Right.
So, and we'll see how that goes as we continue.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You have a mentor action.
I do have a mentor action left, which I intentionally saved for the second thing.
And you took a card.
And I took a card that is going to affect that mentor action.
So the first thing that happens is that you reveal an extra kin. So that happens, period, because your card.
Reveal an extra kin.
So that's revealed.
And that's because I am doing a daytime action.
Correct.
So now I can
choose
do that daytime action and choose whether or not to reveal another one.
Right.
Which.
So the Pathfinder.
I think this is a good time to do that.
The Pathfinder allows you to either advance your Pioneer one space, or I think it's collect the rewards on the village location you're on currently. Those are the 2 things you can do.
Okay.
Which is different from the actual shrine action. Which the shrine action you have to move your Pioneer and then collect.
Oh, not Pioneer, Pathfinder.
Oh, sorry, is that that's the name of the character, but this is your Pioneer.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So when you normally take the shrine action, you're required to move your Pioneer marker and then collect the rewards on that village.
Right.
This lets you collect from the village your Pioneer marker is currently on.
So you may so the official wording they got there is you may either explore an already built village or collect the benefits of one of your pioneers or one your pioneer is currently on.
Correct. That second ability is what makes it different from the actual shrine action.
Okay. Well, I'm also going to go with my clan reveal as well.
So you're going to reveal a second one, and that is Nocturnal. You can spend one of your resources to gain a moon shard of your choice. And moon shards are key because they allow you to score points. And moon shards score 9 points for each set of 3, 6 points for each 3 of a kind, or 1 point for each singleton after you've made your sets.
Right. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do for my acquire is I am going to acquire, and I'm going to acquire the middle one.
you're going to get the Pathfinder. So there's that. And you have to replace one of your apprentices, or well, one of your kin.
I'm going to replace an apprentice.
And that's going to give you 2. I've already forgotten the word.
Not favor.
Favor, yeah.
It is a favor?
Favor
Okay.
points. The letter F.
Every
stuck
game
in my
calls
head.
them something different.
They do. Game winners. Game winners.
All right.
All right, so now I've slid your Nocturnal down to take up the other space.
And that should end my turn.
Right. And you place that guy. So here's a fun one. I don't know. I just can't decide if this is a smart idea. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, I can use the archer to target. Can the archer target my own?
I don't see why not. Let's see. I thought it was even mentioned as such. One kin in the opposite sector. It doesn't say an opponent's kin.
Okay.
Overview on page 8. See if there was any additional reference there. I'm not seeing anything to indicate it has to be an opponent's kin.
Okay. Let's see here. That's interesting. How do I?
We'll fill the silence with the sound of a can opening.
Yeah, and watch my audio spikes just go boom.
The family was watching the stream one day, and somebody opened a can, and they said it was like the loudest thing ever.
It's a massive explosion. I do want to work toward fixing that. So hopefully, you know, my viewers can appreciate that the ads run to pay for better microphones.
So what you're gonna have to do is, like in the movies where they got like the bomb disposal units, it's gonna be like a big padded box, and you stick your can inside, and you stick your arms through the holes.
I love it, and we're gonna put it out here for everybody to see.
Right.
And as soon as you crack it, I'm gonna switch to a video where it's like.
Oh yeah, you gotta have like a camera inside the box that shows the controlled explosion in slow motion.
That's excellent. I love it. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing.
It makes 2 of us.
But I like this idea. So I'm going to play my archer here. That's going to cost me a spark. But by doing that, I'm going to gain 2 scrolls.
You are thwarting my plan. Because you see what's happening here.
Is that we're reacting to each other.
I end up without a spark because you're going to bump my guy out.
Right. And this is going to also advance me to the front of the line. Not that that means a whole lot in this game, but in a 4-player game, it doesn't matter where you are. You go to the front, everybody else slides down.
Right.
And then my archer ability will hit a guy on the opposite side. So it's going to hit the mentor, and that's going to put him here. And that should be my action. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is my action. I have acted. I have now been done acted.
Okay. So, and you spent a spark to do that.
I did.
There's no gains on that. Okay. Not knowing how aggressive I need to be about getting my hands on some victory points.
Favor points.
Favor points.
We're gonna try to use the terminology as best we can, kids. Just so you know what we're talking about if you go look at the rules to play this game.
So I'm thinking about, I just got a brand new fancy Pathfinder.
And you're not afraid to use it.
I am not afraid to use it, and I'm thinking, so this is what happens. So how does this work here? So we spend that, we get victory points.
No, yes, and you spend that
And
to
then you
build
build the next
the
one?
village, and that gives
Okay.
you the victory points when you build that, and that happens here. But your Pathfinder has to be there. The cool thing about this space is that you can move up to 2, but you can't build that turn. But as long as you're in position, you're fine.
So I can do one of two things. I can either build or explore, right?
Correct.
And this guy may either explore an already built or collect the benefits from one. So he can explore an already built village regardless of whether or not I have an explorer on it. No, explore an already built village.
Right. Yeah. So he can either move. You can move one space. You can move your Pathfinder one space, or you can collect the rewards on an already built village that he's on currently. So right now, you could use him to either collect 2 coins, or move your Pathfinder one village.
And in order to build this one, I would need to go 2.
Correct. Which is why you take this action instead.
But this will give me 1 victory for every 2 cards, which I already have 2.
1 favor, yes, correct.
Or favor. Okay, so.
Yeah, so putting him there is kind of awkward.
Because if I put him there, I can put him there, move forward, and then.
Then nothing.
Oh, then nothing. I need to be.
Right. The question is, do you have to move 2?
I don't have to move 2, so I could move.
You could use that to
go
move
there,
1 and then collect the reward.
This action to remove up to 2.
Yes.
Which in my case I only want to move 1, and then I'll use the Pathfinder's action to
collect the reward,
which is 1 favor for every 2, which gives me 1 favor.
That's me. But thanks.
Okay. I did a thing.
That is the thing.
I did a thing.
You have thinged. Okay, that now goes to me. So do I want to do? See, I did this kind of order. Really, I mean, I took that action. Ideally, I would have taken this one first to grab this guy, but then I might not be able to take it. So I suppose
it's kind of an exploratory thing right now, where you know. We don't really have a strategy necessarily because we're not entirely certain how all the different pieces fit together yet. And I have a feeling at a future game, you and I are going to be playing at a whole different level.
Yes. I hope so.
I got to say, first impression so far, I'm enjoying it.
Yep.
Good.
Clearly, the whole action economy thing. Right?
I forgot we have these nice little reference cards here too.
Oh yes.
With the daytime and nighttime effects. So this is basically what's written in here, just a little more simplified.
Oh, this lets you move 1 and build. So you can do both if you're in the right position. So you can either move 2 villages or you can move 1 and build. I guess my question is,
which means what I could have done is I could have used this ability to move 1 and then this ability to move 1 and then build here.
Yes, if you would like to do that.
Which, no. I kind of wanted the favor point at that point.
Okay. And the other question I have for village building is, do you have to build them in sequence? Can you replace them?
I think that is
because there's this whole big stack.
And maybe that's just because of the random order that they come out in?
Maybe you only need 4 then in that case. There's like 14 or 12 or something there.
Okay.
Building.
So here's like a whole little section here.
Yeah.
But that kind of talks about the stuff we were just discussing. Let's see. I in particular want to see. Where is it? I'm looking for the dark green, the shrine. Here we go. This is. The rim, that's what I'm looking for.
Yes, the rim.
Okay. So the written description is you may explore up to 2 villages or explore up to 1 village, then build a new one.
Okay.
Build a new village. Your pioneer token must be positioned on a village next to an empty site. Oh.
Oh, I thought you had to be on it to build it.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, what does it say again?
Okay, let's reboot that. All right, your Pioneer token must be positioned on a village next to an empty site. Pay the amount of resources indicated on the village site and gain the corresponding favor points.
Mm-hmm.
Then take the top tile from the village pile, place it onto the empty site next to your Pioneer. Finally, move your Pioneer onto it.
Okay.
So
that's that first action.
So in order to build this one,
You have to
you have to be here.
there.
So we were right about that.
Okay.
So, and the way that would work is you would pay this cost, you place the tile, and then your piece moves onto it.
Yep.
Is how that happens.
Okay. And
So
then
that's just mechanically a detail.
and so then once there are no empty spaces,
And then explore a village.
that's the 2.
Explore a village, that's the 2. Advance your Pioneer token onto the next built village. You cannot move onto an empty site. So yeah, you cannot use it to move onto an empty site and then do something.
Okay.
If your Pioneer is on the
Penultimate.
penultimate site of the shrine, you are still able to build. Pay the amount of resources indicated on the shrine tile and gain the corresponding favor points. Then flip the shrine tile and move your Pioneer onto it.
Oh, so it is supposed to start like this.
But that's not how they had it pictured.
I mean, you don't flip the tile really, so you technically have to build it.
If your Pioneer is on the penultimate site, so if he's
Penultimate.
on this one,
Yeah.
you're still able to
Oh,
build.
I get it.
Pay the amount of resources indicated on the shrine tile.
And then flip it over
So it's one
to
last
show that it's been done.
one last build.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it. And then after that, what, you come out here to trade basically?
Boy, you're getting into like the real advanced endgame stuff here.
Sorry.
What would that?
I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So like,
Because that's not really discussed in the rim here.
yeah, once you build the shrine, right, and your Pioneer is out.
That's because it's
here,
not the rim. It's the shrine.
It's the shrine.
Collect the benefits of a village.
Oh, you
no.
don't have to move.
You can always choose to collect the benefits of the starting village.
But the daytime effect is you may explore one village and collect the benefits for one of your
You
already
may explore one
already
village.
explored villages.
Oh, so that's a move and explore, or yeah.
You may
okay.
move, and then you can collect. So right now,
So I could.
you can collect either. You don't have to be on the village to collect it because it says already explored.
And collect the benefits of one of your already explored villages.
Yes, which means anything you're past,
Anything there or past.
you've explored it already, so you can collect it.
Yeah.
So the further down this path you go, the more you have access to collect one of. And once you get to here, now it's giving you the ability to move and or collect, again, like you said.
Right.
And this is a collectible action once this is built. So this is technically one of these. And then once
Gotcha.
you pay
That's
it
the cost to build
to
it.
build
Once
it,
you build it,
flip it.
and then I can.
Now, when you do it, you collect this,
Right.
which is pay one of any resource to gain one of any moon shard.
Which, you know, they probably could have printed that on here,
You
and
would
it would
think
have made
so.
more sense.
You would think so.
Because it would have fallen more in line with this stuff.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
The design choices being what they are.
Maybe it was a problem of maybe they had already printed the board and realized the mistake, and this piece was a way of working around that mistake in a way that they didn't have to reproduce it.
It's possible.
Or maybe there's a variant that does something different with that mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a better handle there.
Okay.
And I've done my stuff, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you collect your favorite points. So this is me.
So let's see.
Yep, I have 4.
I went first, and I have 3. So
Yep,
yeah.
I have 4. So I will play my apprentice, but I'm going to shroud him.
Move your video over to the other side. Our board's off center, and our video's covering up the corner of the board. Or we can move the board. But I'd much rather see you struggle with the technology.
Oh, believe me, I've already done things to my technology that you haven't even seen yet. Okay, so I'm going to play a shrouded Ken. So, and that's fine because apprentices don't have any special actions anyway.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That gives me 2 influence at the end of the...
So you pay the cost for him.
Yep, I paid the coin.
Okay.
And I shut your guy out of there so I don't have to pay any other costs.
Right.
And now I can get 1 or 2 of these cards.
Now, if I flip him, if I hit him and flip him,
I lose influence. It turns him over. But if
because he's worth more influence face
down, yeah,
down.
when he's shrouded, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you chose to not use his ability.
Right.
Is, I guess, the argument.
Ability.
Yes.
Yes. So, that being said, then I am going to take the Seal of the Rim. Now, you said, did you say that you could either take the victory points or the ability, or do you get both?
It's either or.
So what? So if you take the victory points, you just flip it over.
So you take the victory points, you discard it.
You discard it?
Yes.
You don't get credit for it?
So acquiring a revelation card. Pay the cost in scrolls indicated in the top corner of the card. A revelation card with no scrolls is free to acquire. Right. Once acquired a new revelation, you have to decide whether to discard it to gain any favor points depicted on it, or to keep it and place it face up in front of you to benefit from its effects during the game.
Okay.
So it's a decision you make at this point to either gain immediate gratification or long-term benefits.
I will take the long-term benefit. Now the question is, do I spend all the rest of my scrolls?
To go with the second one.
Yes.
Yeah, those are expensive.
They are, but they are powerful. Strategic maneuvers. At the beginning of your turn, you may spend 1 coin to move one of your kin to another sector's available spot. So obviously it doesn't activate it, but it does let you flex your influence in an area. And potentially even lock up spaces that would have cost you to play in, but because you're just moving it, not activating it, it could also free up a freebie for you to use. So there's a huge advantage there. Like if you had been here and I wanted to block this out for you, but I didn't want to take the action, I could move an existing into it. I don't pay this cost, and I free up this one because it's free. So that's a huge advantage. It costs a coin.
And the thing is, you always run the risk of you take a move like that, especially like a 4-player.
Right, like when I kick you out,
you kick me out,
I'm not going to get
and
it
then
back.
somebody else gains the benefit
Yeah,
of the fact
exactly.
you did it.
Exactly.
So you really have to think strategically. What are you gaining by doing it?
So I'm going to take the risk here. I'm going to spend every last scroll I have, and I'm going to take this strategic maneuvers card.
And you are keeping it?
I'm going to keep it.
I don't know, 3 scrolls for 4 favor. That's a pretty good deal.
It seems pretty good. I think I can do better. Camouflage. Prayer of the Jade Moon. At the beginning of your turn, you may spend up to 2 spark to gain an equal amount of green moon shards, then discard this revelation. Camouflage. At the beginning of your turn, you may spend a scroll to cloak one of your unveiled kin. Oh, so this is the same card.
Oh, we have 2 of those.
2. Okay. Yep. That's good to know, though. That means that these aren't necessarily singletons that only one person can get. If there are duplicates, there's a chance that somebody else you might get later.
Which, there's the benefit of buying one and then taking its favor, because maybe you got nothing but junk up there that you don't want.
Right.
Instead of giving you a reset the stack mechanic, which a lot of games do, they're saying instead you can buy it for favor. At the very least, you can
open up a slot for later.
And so there's always a use for what's there, even if the ability isn't useful to you.
Right.
Which I love that. That's great.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
That is my action.
So that said, I've been eyeing this interesting mechanic over here, and I have no idea what this does. So I kind of want to put somebody over there to do an eventy sort of a thing.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you do have to fill up the leftmost slot. So the first time you actually have to pay the coin.
That is an interesting question.
We've been kind of operating that way.
Yeah.
But only because the left slot has been free.
Kin placement. The player must place one of their kin from their hand into one available slot from a sector, or straight into the Phoenix Palace. Oh, you can also just choose to put one in the palace. Some of the sector spots have resource icons depicted on them that indicate they are paid spots. To place a kin in a specific spot, you must spend the resource. In the selector spot can be placed unveiled or cloaked. I'm going to skip over that. We kind of know about that. And the Phoenix Palace can only be placed unveiled. However, they won't perform their placement abilities. That's also good to know. If you choose to place one there, you're not using the ability.
No, you're just using whatever's in here.
Like the 6 sectors, there's no limit to the number of kin that can be placed in the palace. Regardless of where you placed your kin. In fact, furthermore, in the example here, it looks like somebody placed one kin in one end, one kin at the other end, and skipped over the one in the middle. So,
okay. You can choose which space you put your kin in if there are multiple options.
Yeah, in fact, hold on. This example might actually show this. Let's see. In Purple's player's turn, they decide to place their kin unveiled into an available spot of the clan house sector. Then they perform the ability. However, apprentice kin do not have any ability, thus the step is skipped. The orange player before them during the kin placement phase of their turn had decided to place their kin in the same sector but cloaked, paying 1 coin to do so. The only one, yeah.
So they can place them. They can place it whenever then.
That's
wherever.
What I'm getting from this.
Okay. Good to know. Because I noticed that they decided to switch up the order on that one, so I want to make sure order didn't.
So maybe sometimes you want to spend a scroll. Maybe there's like one of these abilities that like every time you spend a scroll, something happens.
It's possible, yeah. If there's an incentive for you to.
Yeah. If you want the same coin, just let me know.
Oh, you're welcome. You're fine. You've been doing great.
As instructions go, I usually struggle with instructions, and these ones aren't too bad. I'm actually doing pretty okay with this. So let's see here. I think got nothing but apprentices and fighters here.
So we've determined that you can place in any space. There's no order to it. Why you would choose a space that had a cost over one that didn't, we don't know yet, but there may be a reason.
And it's interesting that they're in the order they're in too.
Mm-hmm.
Cost, no cost, and
all the rest of them are the other way.
So,
well, I mean, we are looking at the two-sided, the two-player board, so there's far fewer locations.
All right, let's see what the event daytime thing says.
You gain a spark and you discard one of these events.
Okay. Me.
Right. I don't know why you'd place over there to not remove one. Again, except to take up a spot, I suppose.
Okay, so I may hit a kin. If I hit the kin, it knocks me out of that section too.
Yes, and it's one of your own, right? It does specify that?
Right. Yes, it does specify that. So I go up there. this is interesting. I don't know if this is a good way to play. So what I'm thinking about is that with the event cards that are sitting there right now, none of them, if I didn't have anybody on the board here, which because I can hit my kin to gain a lantern, I can do that. And we have 2 more after that.
And I was thinking about this.
But you're going to be getting here, 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 and here, though.
Highlighted sector, I believe, has to do with where these are.
The ones that aren't closed off.
Right.
So those are all bad things that can happen. But I can gain.
Well, that will happen.
That will happen. But I'm actually okay with those, and I'm actually in a good place to take on that particular goal, and it's worth 4 during the nighttime phase to defend the gate. So I can go, because I'm getting the temple. There's a lot of catch up you'd have to do to get me at the temple, especially if I do this. So I'm going to I want to do this face down to be in case you come in there. Yeah, I probably do. So I'm actually starting to strategize here. Okay, so we're going to try this.
Already
So,
on turn 4?
on turn 4.
Nonsense.
So my apprentice doesn't do anything on his face upside anyways.
Correct.
So I'm going to do him face down, so he's worth 2
influence.
in that spot.
Yep.
It's going to cost me a coin to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I gain a spark.
Mm-hmm.
I also, at the beginning of my turn, may hit one of my kin, so we're going to hit him for another spark there.
That gives you a spark when you do it?
Yes. You may hit one
Oh,
of
that's
your
right.
kin to gain a spark.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so make sure that's not covering stuff up.
And then you may remove what are they called?
An event.
An event.
And I'm going to remove this one.
Okay.
Okay, I did a thing.
Yes, you did. Actually, you made something easier for me.
No,
You did.
I was trying to make it harder.
You helped me out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move my pioneer and spend 2 coins and a lantern to build the next village and score 4 favor points. So now I'm assuming that, I'm not sure what that does. Does that reveal a new event?
That is a good question. Let's see.
Actually, it looks like a cloaked figure.
You know, I almost think it's.
I think it
it's
lets you
cloaking
cloak a kin that's on the board.
Which cloak kins are worth more
Influence.
influence? Yeah.
But that saves you the coin that they cost to flip. And also they let you flip an already placed one, so you could place a kin for its effect and then cloak it. Is my guess.
Yeah. So cloak one of your unveiled kin at no cost.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. So I think we're going to do this. Actually, I think I have enough I can do that, right? So
You're cloaking it there.
right, and that's not a highlighted sector, right? Is what we're believing that to be.
Not currently.
We may end up having to look that freezing up at some point because
Well, look, the card didn't tell you anything.
yeah, it didn't.
It might be in the nighttime.
All right, so I paid one for him,
Okay.
and then I'm going to
Now
pay,
you're taking
oh yeah,
this action, which automatically reveals one of yours.
oh yeah, which it does, yes.
Diplomat.
Ooh. Now here's the beauty here is now I can use the natural
Yes.
reveal section to bump yours out,
You can.
which I think I'm going to do because it'll save me a coin.
Unless you want the trickster.
Now I can't afford the trickster. I could afford the diplomat.
So the diplomat lets you
Swap clan members between two locations, and they don't have to be yours, if I recall correctly.
Well, that iconography is obfuscated.
Diplomat, where are you? Diplomat, move one of your kin from an adjacent sector to a free spot of this sector at no cost. So it's not swap.
Yeah, so wherever you place the diplomat, you can pull a kin in from an adjacent sector, as long as there's a space open for it.
To gain majority in that section.
Correct, or lock it, gum it up or whatever.
Right. So, as much as I would love to spend my last coin to do something funky like that, I think I'm actually gonna go with Nocturnal to not spend a coin.
Okay. And where are you placing them? Or are you swapping them?
I don't want to swap them for my fire. I can swap them to temple too, can I?
Yeah.
I think I have a
Oh.
apprentice in here.
Yeah,
I do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we'll do that. I'll swap out an apprentice from the temple.
Okay.
I'm not ready to release my fighter yet. And then those shift.
Yep.
Okay. Starting to get it. Don't know what I'm doing with it, but I'm starting to get it. I can see I'm definitely going to need at least one archer though, because situations like that.
And it's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being able to snipe them out from across is important.
Which that said, now there's no obvious way that I can see an archer affecting this particular situation because of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to move here
Mm-hmm.
and cloak that guy.
Interesting. We may have to look up what to do in a tie.
Tiebreaker.
Oh, I don't like that. Well.
I think a couple of observations I'm making here is that whenever you take the springs action, you better be getting two,
It does seem that way.
right? I mean, it's as far as like maximizing your action value, right? I feel like here, unless there's something you absolutely have to have here, you want to reveal. options.
Highlight sector where there's at least one kin eater, so that would include that sector itself. Okay, I think I'm ending on a terrible round one, but that's what first games are for.
It's a terrible play.
Okay, so we're gonna use our last coin over here to play him. I don't have to knock one out, do I? That's all the other verbiage has been a maze.
Did you gain a lantern?
Not yet.
Okay.
All it says is hit one kin in the same sector as the fighters, but it doesn't say may or must. What do you think?
I'm guessing it's a may.
Because like this would be a situation where I wouldn't want to.
In the same sector of the fighters. I mean, yeah, I guess you're kind of in a situation where, I mean, it doesn't matter technically.
If I did, it's not going to change anything. I'm still majority over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just for the sake of moving forward, let's just say that it's a may, because that seems to be consistent with the rest of the rules.
Yeah, my guess is, I mean, there has not been anything compulsory. I mean, I guess the reveal, we've interpreted the that extra reveal for you as required.
Right.
Because it doesn't say may. I mean, I suppose in that respect.
Because that says whenever you do the thing, first do this.
And this does not say may.
And all it says on fighter is hit one kin in the same sector as the fighters.
Yeah.
And there's nothing under the kin overview that it references that changes that either.
Yeah.
So.
No, in fact, none of those abilities show may. I don't think. Is there something in the front?
Not directly, because a lot of them will say like activate the clan house daytime effect, and and the clan house effect says may do this, may do that.
But other ones say, like the trickster says,
perform the ability of one of your ready kin in the clan house as if the trickster had that ability.
Yeah. Which implies that you would activate one of these, and if they aren't a action, like a board action, it doesn't have a may built into it.
Right. Okay, so here's where the may is. Unveiled, you may immediately perform the kin's ability.
There you go.
Okay, so there's an implied may on all kin's abilities.
On all kin abilities, which that had to be the other option.
Okay, so
yeah. In this case, you don't have to.
Did I collect that?
No, you've not collected this part yet.
I was gonna say you have to roll the video back, find out.
No, I remember.
Right. And I can remove. So let's get that guy out of there.
Okay.
That's the other one that can cause me some trouble. All right, and then this is your last placement, and I will start reading ahead to see what happens for dark nighttime phase.
So I will say that was the worst. That was the worst of the two cards you could have taken out for you, because this one was affecting me more than you, and this one only affects you.
Right. Yeah, I knew going into that section I had to actually deal with those events in a way, and I think that's the idea, is you're dealing with the events so that you can have a successful nighttime.
Right, but this one hurts only you.
Right. And
this one hurt me and you, and hurt me more.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, it had potential to hurt me more. Actually, technically hurts us both the same.
I would lose one.
You'll lose 2. Or no, yeah, you'll lose 1, and I'll lose 2. Or yeah, because you'll lose 1 here, and I'll lose 2 here and here.
That's a good point.
And this one only hits you because this sector you have 2 in, you take a hit. I mean, technically, it doesn't hurt you. You still keep this doesn't hurt you. You're not wrong. This still does you better because you're not losing victory.
Yeah,
points.
the difference is that one.
You'll take a hit on one of these. So what? You still control.
I still control it. And I gain my 4.
Yeah.
Where if I leave that in play, I only get 3. You lose 2.
Yeah, and you lose 1.
Well, that's 3 after losing 1. So I'm up 3. You'd be down 2.
Oh, plus the gain of the 4.
Right.
I mean, you get that anyway. I mean, you were going to get that anyway. Regardless of this,
right.
This hits both of us. So we
but
both
playing
lose
in that
points.
field required me being there, which I guess the events happen regardless of whether or not you're in there. They happen to
that is correct.
all the players.
Yes.
Interesting. So yeah, maybe I would have been better off getting rid of the other one.
Oh. No, I think you're fine.
You think?
I mean, if anything, you didn't cost yourself any points either. Although the differential between us would have gone down by 1.
Right.
Yeah. So, talk about min-maxing.
Well, these are all things that, come time that we play this again, we'll actually know and
so here's an interesting scenario.
We'll be watching for.
So I don't have any resources at all.
None.
And that means that I can't play here or here. So I have to play
in the temple.
In the temple, which I can gain a resource.
Do your cards help you with playing in the temple?
No.
I don't remember which ones you grabbed.
No, it's when the Rim Daytime effect, I was supposed to gain 2 favor points. So I should have gained 2 more points.
Whenever you
take the Rim Daytime effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get 2 points. This one I have to spend a coin to move akin to another sector's available spot without having coins. So
right.
In that case, then, so I play here. In Daytime effect, I either gain a resource or I pay a spark to activate a highlighted area and then rotate this. But in this case, I don't have a spark either. So I will take... I'll take a resource, obviously. The question is which one. I need the means to gain more resources later.
Oh, I see. So the outer ring is the daytime.
Yes.
And the inner ring is the nighttime.
Correct. I will take a spark. I feel like these are the hardest to come by right now. I don't know if that's going to prove out later or not, but...
What does this mean again?
So this is either you can take one of any resource, or you can spend a spark to activate one of the highlighted sections. Like you're taking the daytime action.
I see. So the slash is like that. So either gain an item or spend a
to
spark
take the daytime action of a highlighted area and then rotate the temple.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I took a spark. I don't have any other bonuses for that. So that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
And also the end of the round.
All right.
So now we should be moving on to nighttime. That's correct?
So, nighttime phase.
We just walk through these rewards, right?
Well, let's see. Okay, so nighttime phase follows the steps below. Event resolution, followed by nighttime reward scoring.
Yeah.
So, event resolution as...
check it out. This is where you start.
Oh.
And you just go around.
Oh, interesting.
So it always starts you with the events first, and then you score.
I love the design of this. This is great.
So hit one kin of yours in every sector where there are at least 2 kin of yours. So I don't have any sectors with 2. You have one sector with 2. I'm assuming you hit, and doesn't matter because you still control it.
Right.
So now, rewards. You get 4 favor points for this sector
Okay.
and an orange moon shard.
Okay, so there is a little more to this. So event cards, starting from the first player and proceeding in clockwise order, each player resolves the effects of the leftmost event card, and then they can discard the card. So for
Yeah.
future reference,
We start here and go.
we need to do them in order,
Yep.
and it's going to be we resolve the players one at a time
each
for each
event.
card, as opposed to each card and then move forward.
Yep.
So nighttime reward scoring.
4 for you. And an orange moon shard.
Okay.
Here, I get 2 favor points. And an orange moon shard. Here, I get 1 scroll and 1 green moon shard. Here, I get 1 of my choice. I will take. Another scroll and a green moon shard. Here,
You get a
I'll
spark.
take a spark and a purple moon shard. Here is the fun one. We each get a coin. And then Influence gets a purple moon shard. We're tied. And I am ranked as the upper tiebreaker. So I will gain 1 purple moon shard. So area control's a thing.
It is.
So now here in the center, nighttime, you get 1 favor point for each kin here. So you get 3 favor points, and I get 1.
Alright, so 1 for you, 3 for me.
Then we each get 1 moon shard of our choice, which I'll take an orange one for mine.
I don't remember if the color matters.
Oh, yes, it does.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember
Because
scoring.
you want one of each, or is it?
1 of each is the better score.
Okay, so I'll take a color I don't have.
Wait a minute. No, that's different.
So 3 green, 3 purple, or 3 orange will give you 9. So
And 1 of each
matching
will
colors
give 6.
gives you 9.
So that
One
is
of each
that
will
is
give 6.
exact opposite of what they said in that video. They said a set of 3 like this gives you 9, and 3 of a kind gives you 3.
Oh, this should go over to you.
Well, yeah, coming up.
It should have gone to you.
Oh,
earlier.
because no, you're getting it.
That's first player token.
And you're getting first player.
But you're
'Cause-
first player, aren't you?
No, I am. That's ranking, not first player turn order. That's controlled by this.
Okay.
I'm just ranked higher for tiebreakers.
What does this mean then? First player.
That at the end of the game. That's
Right.
in-game scoring. So at the end of the game, if you have the first player token, you're going to gain 1 moon shard of your choice.
So it acts as a moon shard of any color that I can combine with. a
Pretty
moon
much,
shard.
yeah.
Okay. So in that case, maybe I want another orange one.
Right?
Yeah.
Seems correct.
All right.
Now that I've gone the completely wrong direction, misunderstanding the scoring, that's
Yes.
fine. I don't mind. Okay. And I think with that, we're done with round 1.
I think we are.
Okay. Oh,
So-
now hang on.
Okay.
This is one thing we're not sure about. I think this also means that each player gains 1 resource, and then we rotate this. So take a look at what the temple levels mean.
Okay, hold on a second. So we did that.
Yep.
Players eligible for nighttime rewards specific sector if they have at least one of their kin in that sector. And beginning of the nighttime phase. When comparing influences, the unveiled kin contributes 1, cloak 2. All players with at least 1 kin in a sector gain the nighttime reward. The player with the most influence also gains majority bonus. When the clan house nighttime rewards have been redeemed, there is another clash to resolve, the radiant phoenix of Ryozen claims attention and honor for her presence. Okay, hold on. I don't remember hearing about this.
What is this?
All right, let's see what we got here. For presence. Players finally compare their influence in the Phoenix Palace. Okay, I see what that's saying. And competing for majority. All players with at least one kin in the palace will score the nighttime reward, while the player with the most influence will also gain a majority bonus. Okay, so that's what that's talking about. So that's the Radiant Phoenix of Ryozen.
Okay.
Us paying homage to that.
Okay.
Dawn phase. In case you're playing the third route of the game, proceed directly to the end of the game below. Otherwise, the players take their kin from the board back to their play area, including the ones in the Phoenix Palace. A new round begins, and you may add a new floor to the Phoenix Palace. Interesting wording, may. I mean,
it's not may, it's must.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not optional, is it? Because I thought that's also how you track where you are, is the building of the palace. So yeah, I think we pull our pieces back and we add the next level to the palace.
You know what? This is actually showing us what's on the board. So if you look at this, the first floor shows gain 1 and rotate. The second floor shows the other ability, which is pay a spark and activate, then rotate. And then this one shows the nighttime. Oh, this is the total benefit together. Are we only supposed to be able to...
And it's only showing that on opposite sides
well,
of that one.
The sides don't matter. I think it's just printing. But this here is this plus this. Okay? Now we're in an ad.
All right, let's see. Oh.
So in the first round, are we only able to do the first thing?
Hold on. We may have done something very wrong.
Excellent. Excellent. Now I can introduce my other feature that we haven't seen yet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe. All right. Phoenix Palace. Okay. Where am I at? Turn order, kin placement, daytime effects. The Phoenix Palace provides 2 different daytime effects that the player can choose between. They can either gain a resource of any kind, then rotate, or pay 1 lantern to perform the daytime effect of one of the highlighted sectors.
I should have rotated it anyway. This should have been rotated. Not that it mattered, I don't think. It didn't affect anything.
Well, what was the...
It was only based on if you had 2 or more. But it didn't talk about highlighted. The victory point one was the highlighted.
Right. After resolving the daytime effect, the current player's turn is over, and the players proceed this way until the last players place their kin, perform their last daytime effect, then nighttime phase. So we did get that right.
The only thing we didn't do is rotate this. Because it rotates regardless.
Then we do the nighttime. When the clan house nighttime rewards have been redeemed, there's one other clash to resolve. So basically we go through, we resolve all those.
Yep.
Then we resolve the temple. We
Yep.
resolve the temple. Dawn phase. Otherwise, the players take back all their kin, including the ones in the Phoenix Palace. The new round begins, and you may add a new floor to the palace. So we add the extra floor.
Yeah, which I will do now.
It doesn't really say anything about doing anything differently.
It's so strange though, the way that they've done this iconography.
Unless
makes it look like it doesn't actually become available until you've put that layer on.
Oh, ignore that for now.
Oh, okay. Is that like an alternate rule?
I think that's the Phoenix Palace alternate mode.
Got it. So then
so when I assembled these, I put those on the outside because it seemed to make sense. It didn't really instruct me. That was the one thing. So honestly, and a lot of board games do this, it drives me batty, is they send you all the pieces packed for shipment,
Yeah.
but they don't really give you instructions on how to transfer it from shipment packed to playable
play
packed.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no real instructions on how to assemble the palace or which side in or out, because these are double-sided pieces.
Yep.
And apparently it looks like here it says one Phoenix Palace double-sided, the Phoenix Palace, and you assemble it with the symbols on the outside. So each round the benefits differ, I think is what's happening here.
Or they grow. Well, no, I guess does differ because this one shows it as either. So
Right.
the first round you can only do the take and rotate. The second round you can only do the spend to activate and rotate. The third round you can do either as an alternate rule set.
Yeah, that's got to be it. And they also show putting. We're gonna have to read up on that. This would be an interesting way to play. There's a lot of interesting things going on with this. It's more than just even that. It sounds like because your pieces don't go down here. They actually climb up the temple. And what you have access to apparently is based on where you have climbed up in the temple's hierarchy. Right?
Wow, that sounds. So you actually have to commit multiples to actually get to the higher.
Yeah.
Like you stack them on each other.
You actually like set them
in there because they fit.
Yeah, they actually like go in there like that, and yeah.
But you have to. Do you have to activate the first? Like you have to put one in here.
So
first
we
you put it
use
here.
the flip side of this, which actually has 4 squares on the orthogonal side.
Yes.
And then you go
That's
from there
right.
to there to there. So it depends on which floor you're on, which abilities you have access to.
Very interesting.
So yeah, we're gonna have to read up on that. That sounds like a really fun way to play.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun mechanism.
Makes
it more difficult.
That wouldn't be like as big of a divergence as far as like an alternate gameplay mode.
No.
You know.
No, that's
so
easy.
this is easy mode. So just ignore the symbols on the temple for now.
Perfect.
That's our round 2 marker. The fact that we have 2 floors going.
Yep.
And pull all of our guys back. And we're on to round 2. So what do I got? I got a fighter, a couple apprentices.
And I have to admit, I pretty much just gave you the temple by popping all your guys out, basically.
Right, and in the beginning we didn't even really know what that impact would be.
No.
So just to make sure there was no other dawn phase, I think that was it. So we basically leave everything in play the way it has been.
Yep, and I rotated the temple plate because it was supposed to be rotated when I took that action.
Right.
So I went ahead and did that.
So yeah, we are only doing the symbols on here. Ignore what's on the temple.
Got it.
And
now, Dawn, we also have to replace beginning of the next daytime. We have to do new events, right? Does it say anything about clearing these out for Dawn or
it doesn't say anything about clearing those out.
Okay.
In fact, it doesn't say anything about clearing the events out. But I'm assuming that
the events trigger and then are discarded.
event resolution. Events affect all the players, starting from the first player. Likewise, each player resolves the effects of the leftmost event card, then they can discard that card. Players until event cards left at the gates from left to right.
Yep, and then you discard them. So then and remember, at the beginning of the first daytime phase, we filled these in.
Was that where that was?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the daytime phase,
Daytime
you populate
phase.
these.
Okay, daytime phase. Okay, that's what threw me off here. So as following steps: event setup, then player's turn. So we get a set of events. What do we got?
Lose 1 revelation card. Fire in the Clan House. Sunlight reflections. Lose 1 favor point for each sector where there is at least 1 kin of yours. And bitter rivalry. Lose 1 favor point for each kin of yours in the Clan House sector.
Okay.
That Fire in the Clan House sounds terrible.
So basically, we're both going to suffer if nobody goes over there, because those lose ones will happen to each of us.
Yep.
All right. So that's something to think about. And I'm still player 1. That doesn't change.
No, you got that as the benefit for having more influence at the temple.
Oh, that's the Oh, okay. I see. Majority at the temple keeps the, gets the. Okay, gotcha. I'm on the same page now. Part of the nighttime effect. All right. So, what do we want to do here? I have 2 apprentices left. Would love to upgrade them while it's cheap, because I also don't have many scrolls. I would love more scrolls. I have 1 coin left. Do not love that situation.
So much spark and no transformers.
But yes, I got spark up my clan members.
Spark up your Sparky.
So
we haven't broken any rules yet, though. I think we're doing pretty good on that.
So I think we're going to start out with a little mentor action. Well, 2 for 1 on the mentor action here. So
Okay, so first it forces one out.
First, flip 1 out because we're going to do the mentor action in the area first.
So the bard will allow you to cloak a unit kin in an adjacent sector.
That could be useful.
Now you can choose to reveal.
I think I am. I think I'm going to not reveal at this point and take the diplomat.
Okay.
Which will replace one of these guys.
Now these slide.
They slide. Then I'm
Now
going to
you're going
use
to start
mentor's
another
action,
which means you reveal.
Reveals.
The clairvoyant, remove an event, or I believe this is return an event from the discard pile, if I'm not mistaken.
Interestingly, the clan abilities are not in alphabetical order. There's a little gripe in mine. Clairvoyant, there it is. You may either discard an event card or return the top card of the event's discard pile, so the order is going to matter, to an empty foreseen slot.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So now you can choose to reveal.
So clairvoyant. And that bottom one, I'm trying to decide. So trickster was.
He lets you use these abilities as if he had them.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to reveal because I want to grab the trickster. And I no longer have apprentices.
Cool. Then I don't feel bad about this at all.
You should feel bad about that.
Get out of here.
Your face should feel bad about that.
Wow. Your mom's face feels bad. All right, so then I'm going over there. I will. I can advance 2 or I can advance and build. Honestly, I just want to advance. I don't have the resources to build, but I will do this. That way I can take advantage of that. Oh no. Wait a minute. That's you.
That's me.
Now I'm totally.
You're already at the end.
Totally screwed up.
Oh, you didn't want to do that?
Well, I didn't. I did. I forgot. I got the colors mixed up. I thought I was moving.
You can build. Oh, you don't have enough
No,
money.
I don't. I can't. That's just it. I can't. I have to do something else. So.
Well, that makes me happy.
So what I could do is this, and in fact, I can even have fun with it and cloak with 1 coin, and then gain 2 points. Phew. Not the greatest play, but I'm a simple man.
I kind of like that. Or maybe we start out with this.
Excellent. There's another feature.
Let's go. Nice. That's cool. All right, so, boy, and now I'm thinking strategically.
Right.
We're in trouble.
The game has just increased by 50%. Game time.
Oh, but you have that archer. I don't like that archer.
What are you talking about? I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, because you don't have enough spark to pay for that. Man.
I know, right? Trying to figure out what I'm going to spend all my spark on.
Right.
All right, so we'll do that.
Gain 2 scrolls.
And 2 scrolls, which is useful.
And then you can Pathfinder. Advance or collect. So you can get 2 coins or a favor point, or you can move your Pioneer up a space.
That'll work.
Okay. All right, now this. We'll snipe your mentor out, and I will pay 2 coins and a scroll to build the next village. I think this one lets you move a placed kin 2 spaces counterclockwise. I mean, it seems fairly specific.
That's got to be it. Nomad encampment. Move one of your unveiled kin from the current spot onto an empty spot of a different sector at no cost.
Oh, just at a different sector.
Different sector at no cost. Neither kin's abilities are performed, nor daytime effects are triggered. So, yeah, and the key there is the unveiled kin.
Why does it say
So, so a veiled kin would not be able to.
Right.
So,
I see.
So the daytime effect. is not triggered.
Neither the kin's ability or the sector's ability is affected.
Correct.
It is true. Okay.
Okay, I think. Okay, we're going to use Trickster. Spend a scroll. So then I can move and activate. Oh, and tricks, yeah, and for trickster's ability.
You've got Bard or Clairvoyant available.
Oh, it's the ready ones up here.
Yes.
That's the wording on Bard. Cloak one can in an adjacent sector at no cost. Well, actually, I misread that then. I'm going to make it my fighter instead, because I was actually going to use my fighter's ability. So, it's the fighter instead.
You're going to fighter there.
Fighter there, which does this.
Okay.
And the move and use, I'm doing the move and use here, and I'm going to use that to flip them over.
Okay.
Okay. That's his turn. It's the point in the game when all the heavy thinking goes on.
Right. I'm going to play the temple. And I'm going to pay a spark. That seems kind of fun. I think I'd rather. Actually. I'm gonna do this action. I'm gonna gain 2 scrolls and move that, and then this rotates.
Hmm. surprise.
Yeah.
Well, first, I'm gonna hit him.
What? How so?
Beginning of your turn, you may hit one of your kin to gain a lantern. So
Very good.
gain a
I
lantern.
forgot about that.
Now I'm going to spend this lantern to get an orange.
Okay.
And I think we're going to spend 3. Take one of these. And we're going to discard it.
Okay.
For 4.
4 more victory points. Cool.
All right.
Well, that suddenly made me think. I don't think it changes what I want. Good grief, I took the rem action again. I should have 2 more points.
Mhm.
I need to remember that I'm doing that. So give me 2.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Um, then I think I'm going to do it again. I will. Maybe I want to gain. I think I'll gain a coin. I'll rotate that.
Play Trickster.
Okay, for a lantern or for a spark.
And I'm not going to snipe anybody this time.
Okay. You still have to pay one though.
Right. And we're going to use the clairvoyance ability to pull that out.
Cool. Seems good.
And then I get 2 scrolls. And change the order.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
Rainbow. At the beginning of your turn, discard this card and gain 1 favor for each kind of luminous glyph depicted on your revelation cards, including this one. Glyphs.
Hmm.
Do some of them not have them? Oh, for each kind. So if you have duplicates, I guess?
Yeah. So apparently maybe the symbols are
Like the seals have the same symbol. Of course, camouflage has the same one for itself.
let's see, they have all of them in here. Okay, so like Wealth of Offering, Wisdom of Offering, all the offering ones have the same symbol.
Yeah, the seals have the same one.
The seals all, yeah.
The prayers, it looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Bummer. What do I do here? Once again, I'm in this position where I can't do everything. So what do I do instead? Excuse me. I will activate here. Gain 2 scrolls. And move here.
Can't you just leave those where I left them?
And rotate. No cheating yet. No. And we're on ad break.
Oh my goodness.
We have an ad for the minute. Glenn just texted saying today was last day of camp. I must not have done a very good job of explaining.
Oh. Yeah, I remember we spent some time working out because we have
We
have 2 weeks back to back.
We
this
talked
month.
about the calendar exactly.
Yeah, we got this week and next
This
week
week and next
because
week.
of
Correct.
camp. I thought, wasn't it?
Correct. That was
Yeah.
the and he was here for that discussion.
Yeah. Okay, what do I want to do here? So I've got a diplomat left. I know what I would like to do with it. I also know what I should do with it.
And our ad break is ending now. Yes, Dockin, no cheating. Although, I mean, I would love to use that capability. As you can see, I have a cheat counter implemented in the bottom corner.
We did try, but it turned out we were right.
I was going to say, we thought we cheated, but we didn't.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really want to be second player. That's what I want to be. So okay, how does this work? So spin a lantern to use an ability.
On the temple?
I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you
Which-
spend a lantern
which
to
the-
use with the
Which
highlighted
the clan member's
ones.
ability doesn't do anything when I do that, right?
Correct.
So I spin a lantern.
And then
Spark.
you can do one of these 3. Activate
And
daytime abilities, not that
I'll do-
one. That's not available. It's the highlighted ones.
Oh, the highlighted ones.
Yes. To be fair, the tiebreaker really doesn't matter this round. If you look at the board,
Right.
there's only one place where it can happen, and I've given up the ability to be able to influence it.
So that would move. Actually, maybe instead of that, let's do
Because
this
I have
instead.
no spark.
Let's do this instead. So, plate. Oh, hey. Stay put. Because you could still place there and knock that one out. So I'm going to
Yes.
place, I'll do that.
Yes.
I don't need to pull any other pieces in. There's not really any place for it to go anyways. I spend the coin to take the slot, and I've got enough scrolls left that I will buy.
Which you have correctly determined my strategy.
Taking that one out to gain that spot.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll spend 2.
You can spend a. Now, what is that one?
I can spend 2 lanterns at
Oh,
the
to
beginning of my
gain-
turn to gain 2 green.
Yeah, but then you have to discard that.
Right. But as a one-off, 2 for 2 green.
Seems
Add
okay.
1 more green to that. That's worth 9 points versus the card's worth 3. And we got a whole nother round left to go. So I think I'm going to hold on to it.
Okay.
I think that seems like the wiser play.
All right then.
Which doesn't leave any place where you can target things.
I will use my fighter to gain a lantern
I am losing the temple though.
and remove this one. And yes, that is the end of the round.
Alright.
You are losing temple, but that's what you wanted anyway. You want
I kinda wanted to
to
be-
go second.
I kind of wanted to go second
You said
because
this yourself.
there is an odd advantage to that. So
Okay, so now we resolve events, which the only one that's here is lose 1 favor point for each kin of yours in the clan house sector,
so
which I did you a favor and took that guy out for you. So nobody is in that sector, nobody loses any favor points.
excellent.
You're welcome. I was going to go there and then realized, oh wait, I don't want to do that. I took you out for no reason. Now, rewards. So I do have influence here, so I get 4 favor points and an orange moon shard. You get 2 favor points and an orange moon shard. I get 1 scroll and a green moon shard. We each get 1
Of any currency.
resource, and you will also gain a green moon shard.
Being a little low on gold, I think I'm going to go with the coin.
I'm going to take a lantern. Then here you get a lantern and a purple moon shard.
Thank you.
And here, nobody gets anything.
So that immediately becomes a mismatch set.
2 rainbows out there now. Who shuffled these? All right, so now we'll add the 3rd tier of the temple.
Indicating our final
round, and then we'll put out 3 new events. Lose 3 favor points if you have placed at least 1 kin in every highlighted sector. Lose 1 moon shard or 1 favor point for each kin of yours on the board.
We should be pulling these back too.
Yeah. And Crescent Moon. In the next night phase, highlighted sectors do not grant any nighttime rewards, but only the majority bonus. Wow. And oh, that's right. We didn't score this one. I had 3 and you had 2. So last thing here. So
that's right.
I get 3 favor points. You get 2 favor points.
3 for orange.
And 2 for you.
2 for purple.
And then we each gain a moon shard. I will take purple, thank you.
I'll take purple.
Yep. And then I get the first player,
And this goes over there.
which is all you really want.
It really is. Now who's going to win all the ties? Probably you again.
It's all the timing, right?
It is.
All right.
It would have been much more interesting if there was at least 2 other players.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I guess that's for next week. We'll play the competitive version again next week.
What are you thinking so far? I mean, here we are halfway through the game.
Yeah. No, it's perfectly reasonable. It's not
It's
overly complex.
It's not overly complicated. It's got that nice worker placement feel, kind of where I'm feeling.
It's those strategic decisions that worker placement gives you.
Yeah.
The little, rotating things kind of fun. I mean, it's not.
The day and night has some stuff to take into consideration.
Yep. I don't mind it at all.
It's my happy place for worker placement.
It's not a Euro.
What's the one with the cavemen?
Caverna? Or?
No. Stone Age.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played that one, but I know.
Stone Age. I'll bring that in sometime too.
Yeah.
That's another great worker placement. It's got that Euro feel,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not so overly complex of a Euro game that you'll still get that point like near the end where you kind of feel like your brain's melting as you're starting to like figure out the engine.
Yep.
But and that sense of nervousness as to can I get this in there before they do, and you start doing the poker face thing to like. No, you want to go over there. You're going for that.
Pay no attention to these pieces over here. They're not doing anything to bother you.
I love that about the Euro games, but sometimes Euro games get so overly complex that they get lost in their complexity, and you lose the flavor, and you're just so focused on the grit of the exact, perfectly calculated movements. And so my happy place is somewhere in the middle. I want to be able to enjoy it, not have to overthink it, but really be able to strategize and have that strategy mean something.
Yes. Speaking of strategy, I'm going to finally...
You still have an apprentice.
Go for another. I do have 4 apprentices. Are you kidding?
Oh my goodness.
The Mastermind.
That sounds cool.
He does damage.
I suppose I ended up with more guys figured out because of my mentor, though. That mentor early on was really helpful.
What does the Mastermind do?
Okay.
I'm trying to get... So he
Hit
does
one
something.
kin in a sector where you have a cloaked kin. So if you have so it doesn't have to be your... So you hit any kin in a sector where you
I have one cloaked.
Right.
Okay, now I understand.
It almost feels to me like that's more powerful in a
3 or 4 player game
when there's more kin in a given section.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a situation last round where that would have applied.
Yes, that could have worked.
And that would have actually won you the section. That actually could have been very powerful.
Well, and I was hoping to use this ability to cloak my guy, but I didn't have another lantern.
That way.
I didn't have another lantern, so it didn't matter. All right, so
that windfall of lanterns really helped me that round.
The Mastermind is cool. I can't get him because I don't have 2 coins, but that wasn't the point. My whole point was to reveal. So now it is your turn.
Wow, a reveal and no take. Ouch. You do have the scrolls for it, though. Well. Interesting. That is not a bad play. Gotta make sure I'm doing this right. So if I go here, use his ability to move me forward 1. Then I'll use the daytime ability to pay 3 spark.
The daytime ability moves and builds. You're aware of that, right?
Right, it builds and moves.
Move then build. Or do you move to it after you build?
Oh, well then maybe I'm doing this in a different order.
Well, I may have made a mistake. Also, I probably should have advanced another step. So let me know.
Yeah, let's figure that out. Wouldn't be the first time we got a rule wrong.
But at least it isn't affecting the outcome of the game.
No. the outcome of this game is a dice shoot, anyways. First game play. That's
right.
I'm expecting that. You know, that's kind of what I'm shooting for. We're learning the strategy, and next time around, we're gonna crush Glenn and Derek.
Unless I win, and then I'm never gonna play again.
No.
Is that not how that works?
No, you win, we start playing the co-op, and then I have a strong partner.
There you go.
That's how that works. I'm looking for the write-up.
The rim daytime.
The rim daytime effect. Explore up to, so yeah, I think you're right.
So you either
explore up to one village and then build a new one. Build a new one, your pioneer must position a village next to it, pay the amount of resources, gain the corresponding favor points, then take the top tile and place it onto the empty slot next to your pioneer. Finally, move your pioneer onto it.
Okay.
So
you should
the build
be here.
moves you. So
I should
either
be
action you end up moving to. It's
yes.
just
it's just whether or not you moved onto an empty one or not.
Okay.
So now
Did I move this yet?
That's-
No, I did not. Okay.
Yeah,
How much was it?
It should be 5, I think.
6.
6.
Okay.
And
So
you move
1,
on
2,
to
3, 4, 5, 6, and then
And
I
then
move on to it.
I should be here because I should have moved on to when I built it.
Okay. That wouldn't have affected you using the ability here, would it?
I didn't even use it.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so then I can use my bottom ability to then use this one and gain 2 spark.
Yep.
Okay, that's even better. Okay. We're getting the hang of this.
Now you give me something to think about.
Now you think you're going to sprint for that end one?
Why not? I can.
7 victory, and you can pay for it.
Is it? And it's move, build, move, right? It's the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only difference being that I have to do it this way, which is
Yeah,
fine
you got to do it
because
to the
it's,
temple.
because it's on the right space, so I can do that
So you pay a lantern for
for that ability.
For that ability.
To activate
a spark
highlight
for
a
that
spark
ability.
to highlight that area. To use the highlighted ability, and I'm going to move, pay a coin, a scroll, and a lantern or a spark to gain 7 victory points, and flip that over, and then I move on to it.
There you go.
And so now you can exchange at the shrine 1 of any resource for 1 of any moon shard.
Which is great for completing those sets.
Well, I've already got 3 sets, 1 of each, but
Yeah, that happened.
that first round when I scored like almost every freaking sector put me well ahead.
Right. Oh, and what do I want to do for endgame here? That's another question too. So, endgame plays.
Oh, and I perform the rim action, I get 2 victory points.
Oh. Well, that is an unfortunate lead. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate your appreciation.
All right. I would really like to complete some sets too. How do I get there? I can get there.
Oh, sorry. I did this. This rotates.
I can get there because at the beginning of my turn, I can spend up to 2 sparks to gain an equal amount of green, which I am going to do.
Okay.
Spend 2 sparks and 2 green, please. All right. There's another set. Now, for the rest of my turn, how can I get my hands on a purple? I don't have enough currency to sell over there. There is purple there. I don't have the scrolls to use. I get 2 scrolls over here, but I'm all out of lanterns.
shards.
Right. Not to mention setting myself up at the temple, which I don't know what I'm going to do either. Well, ain't that just fine and dandy? That's right, we can pull from any of these. I keep forgetting.
Yes, yes. Any that you advance to. So
Right.
technically you can't do this one yet because you're not there.
Correct.
But the rest of them you can. As soon as you advance, you have access to everything.
So what that means is I can
The
do
shrine action.
I can do this and pull him from over here. My diplomat can do that. And do a move in action. So move, and then for the action, I'm actually going to take the 2 spark. But it puts me in position that going forward, we can actually sell those if I need to. Yeah. There's another question. Is it 1 per transaction? I think I'm done there.
One per transaction.
So can you sell multiple and get multiple sparks?
I'm guessing no. It'd be 1 each time.
That was my impression.
I haven't seen anything in this game that allows you to do multiples of the same action without it being like on a person, on a character, whatever you play. While you're doing that, I'm just going to shoot your guy.
Why would you do that?
Well, because I don't like this earthquake card. Lose 1 moon shard or favor point for each kin of yours on the board. You're welcome, because that's 6 each if you don't get rid of it. And I'm going to snake your diplomat.
Fair enough.
Oh, I gain a spark. Spark.
Well, they totally gloss over that. So they say once you flip it, once the village shrine has been built, pioneers can explore it. Once a shrine is explored, it will be possible to collect its benefits. Refer to the reward depicted on the Phoenix statue.
Right.
Which is that. Which.
Yeah. I wonder if it's different on the other side.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it would be necessarily. It's a great exchange rate. It's just.
Yeah.
Basically, you're tripling the value of your resources for endgame.
Yeah, see,
at a minimum.
And like you, I kind of assume that it's 1 per.
Yeah. They have not provided any sort of mechanism for us to interpret that anything can be done more than once per activation.
Right. Which is a much more Euro way to approach it anyways. So that's probably it.
And I mean, I think to call this game a Euro is kind of a stretch.
It's worker placement.
It is.
Yeah.
There's just far too many more things going on. You have to make your sacrifices. If you don't feel like
Darwin's Journey feels more Euro.
Oh, yes, by far.
Yeah.
If you do not feel loss aversion in a worker placement game, it's not a Euro.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more casual Euro, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what worker placement is fine.
Urban Euro
set collection. I don't know. Some kind of set. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think we call that Ameritrash, but I'm just guessing.
So interesting. That's hilarious, actually. I kind of like this idea. nighttime rewards.
Yeah, that's not great either.
No, they're both pretty crappy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do this.
This one is at least reasonably avoidable.
We're gonna do this, and we're gonna get rid of the.
Which action? Which are you going to use an ability?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, you're using the.
We're using the clairvoyant.
Okay.
Which I'm glad I brought those extra ones out. That was a good play earlier, even though I didn't realize what I was doing.
This would not stand in a 3 or 4 player game.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, in a 2-player game, Trickster's a reasonable strategy.
Right.
3 or 4, I just can't even imagine. It'd be different all the time.
But then again, there would also constantly be a fight for somebody trying to grab out of there for the momentum. With a 2-player game, I got mine pretty early on because I got a mentor, which was huge.
And I don't feel like it's holding me back necessarily.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I'm not getting double actions, but the actions I'm getting are fine.
Oh yeah, and I'm sniping my Pathfinder
for a spark.
For spark. So Trickster's going to get rid of. They're both terrible, aren't they?
Well, like I said, this one's easier to avoid because you have to have kin in every highlighted sector for it to trigger for you. Whereas this one
if you
is
have
just
one kin in every highlighted sector.
Yeah. So as long as you spread your kin out in such a way that you don't have all 3 that are 2 apart,
right?
You're okay.
Or you end up in the unhighlighted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get rid of the other one. That makes more sense.
More bonuses.
I'm real curious to see the co-op version of this too. The co-op version has something to do with fighting. I think it actually makes use of the solo rule stuff, where you're fighting the basilisk. That's what this is.
Okay. What are you taking the? You now have an action over there in the shrine.
And then for my action, I think I am getting the purple. All right.
Four scrolls. And we'll grab the camouflage and the rainbow. Strategic maneuvers, which I have and I've never used. And a Phoenix offering. At the beginning of your turn, you may hit one of your kin to gain 2 favor points. Ooh, that is strictly better than gaining a lantern. Well, although technically.
Right. So, okay.
Longer term, that one's better.
Me then? Spend the lantern. To get, and for his ability, I'm going to spend a lantern to get an orange. With all the piece upgrades, I am surprised that they did not
do something with those.
Yeah, they could have done those cool little like crystal blobs.
Yeah, they wouldn't even have to be
Ascension.
moon shaped. They just have to be the little crystals.
Right, of the appropriate colors. Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have the right colors.
Maybe. But that's totally an upgrade I could do. Mm-hmm. I could get like a little assortment bag of.
Are you kidding me? You go to like Tap Plastic and just get the little colored acrylic cubes for that matter.
You only need what? 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8,
it's like
9, 10, 11, like 12 of each. Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah, and then this. Oh, you already moved that.
I did. There are definitely some interesting choices in this game.
Mm.
As far as like what resources you take, what action, what your order of actions are.
You always have that overarching, what's the event happening, and who wants to take responsibility to get rid of it? Who is it going to hurt? Harm the most?
Yeah. Who is it? Yeah. Exactly.
Like that first round that we had, it's like some of those actually hurt both of us equally, but others hurt some more than others. So.
More in ad break.
Of course. It's a good size on the table too. I was expecting it to be bigger.
Yeah, no, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
For a 4-player game, it really is correct.
Especially for something that like everybody has to kind of like interact with all sides of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Where Darwin, it's like
it's all spread
it's
out.
all spread out.
You can't reach across.
Yeah.
And, it is more difficult. I suppose you put it on one of those lazy Susan tables that sits up and you can rotate around so that you can like reach different sides of it.
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Even a thing. At least I have time to think about this move. Man. I am resource light. To be sure. And I don't think there's really any advantage to me. There's no advantage to me using the shrine ability. I mean, I got my value out of unlocking it is really where I ended up here. I mean, I suppose you still got a fighter and a mentor left. Jeez, that's so bad. What's the best course of action here? I think I do this. Pay the scroll and hit your trickster. And then I'm actually going to cloak, and that's anybody.
Good question.
Pretty sure it's anywhere, but
Cloak one of your unveiled kin.
okay.
And I don't think in the temple you're allowed to cloak them.
No, temple's never cloaked.
Yeah.
Temple is always unveiled. I will. Man, this is rough. What do I really want? I mean, there's not really anything. This is the last round.
Mm-hmm.
Is cloaking even the right action here? I could also move.
And the question is do you want those majorities? And because we don't have the other thing on the board, you don't need the majority anymore.
Well, I mean,
having
it's
it helps.
that you get the majority value. The moon shards is where it's at.
Yes, and especially in this final round.
But is there anything I'm going to protect? I already have 3 sets. The only thing I'm going to get at most would be 1 mixed set for another 6 points. And you've got at least 1 or 2 options to fight me. Am I better off? This is just bad. It's just bad. It's bad, okay? It's bad. All right, I'm not gonna cloak. I'm going to take the shift action instead. And I'm going to move.
This way.
Oh, that's funny. I can actually move.
Move one of your unbuilt kin from the current spot to an empty spot of a different sector at no cost. Neither kin's abilities are performed, nor daytime effects are triggered.
It's funny. You can actually move the kin that you used to trigger the ability.
Yeah, which, why?
I don't know. I mean, it's something you can do.
I guess if you don't have the cost of the slot that you are trying to lock out.
Exactly. Which in my case is any of them, to be honest.
Oh, there's another interesting play too. Would that work? I guess it says another sector. It probably wouldn't work.
Oh, shifting it?
Current spot to an empty spot of a different sector.
Yeah,
so,
so you can't do this.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Is you go in on the paid spot, then you move to the unpaid spot because you know that the
Force
person
them
you're
that they
worried
have to pay
about
to, yeah.
can't pay the price. And
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe cloaking is right here. I'm exposed either way. Doesn't even matter. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of at a place where it's like it's late enough in the game that I don't think I can make any good decisions that you can't undo if you want to. So I don't know what your strategy is here. So
it sure is nice being second.
right, there is that. I mean, obviously you want another orange. I think you want another orange moon shard. So I feel like you're at least going to take that.
I think final round of the game being second is like a great place to be.
I really didn't mind it last turn. It let me control quite a bit. But in a two-player game, again, in a two-player game,
yeah,
it means a lot more. I think than a 3 or 4
you know,
player game.
and I gotta say, this actually like two-player games don't always balance well. I gotta say, this one is doing a good job.
I feel like we've both been.
I feel we both had opportunities.
Yep.
Nothing.
We've also, and nothing's been in the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing feels like it. You know, is a mechanic that only would have worked if we had more players. We didn't have to take any pieces out to even like fudge it to make it work. Which some games, that's what they do, is they remove parts. And no, I'm loving this. Okay, so what I really want,
Tell me what you want. What you really want
is I think we're going here. Bump you out of there. And am I actually getting rid of that as part of my turn? I might be. That is 2 victory points. Oh, tough decisions.
These last couple, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's always those last decisions of a game like this that really I don't need the extra scrolls. I really don't need extra scrolls. And I've got enough to do what I need to do. So maybe I don't do that, and instead I just sell a scroll this time to get another orange. Yeah. That's my turn. That leaves me options. I'm just glad your archer isn't available to play.
Used him very early on.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I got what I wanted out of him.
Because archer could take me out of this spot here.
Yeah, from a control perspective.
Yeah.
If I do that, what does it make you do?
And interestingly, there's no points that I can see for extra currency at the end.
Yes. 1 for every 3. If you have a set of 3, you'll get 3 points.
Oh, 1 for everything. There it is.
It's
okay.
I
was looking there.
It's
and I
any
didn't see
3
that.
also. It's a mix and match. So for every 3 resources you have, you'll get 3 victory points.
Gotcha.
This is not really what I wanted to do, but I think it's the best I've got.
I didn't notice you had a spark left. You paid a spark for that, right?
I did, in fact.
Well.
I don't know. It's a good play. I think it makes you make decisions that maybe you don't want to make. Oh, the last play of the last turn of the end of the game.
You definitely made it awkward. Yes.
That's all I want.
Yeah, just to make it awkward, right?
Yep. That's usually Glenn's job, but today it's me.
So the thinking I had in my head, and that definitely was the move to thwart that, was throwing in to tie with you over there, so that we would at least both be at 4 victory points.
Well, you'd get it on the tiebreaker
and
with one influence.
Yeah, because it's 4. Because we both get 4 for being there.
No. Oh no. Oh yeah.
We both get 4 for being there, but then get the extra orange on top of that. If I had enough gold,
which you don't, and that was what I was looking at. I was like, oh, he can't cloak and take those positions.
And really, to not lose too much traction, I almost have to go there to keep us equal. So that's going to give me 1. That gives me 2. I don't have any place else. I've got to spend a coin to get in there. So I think I don't want to, or do I? How much is the temple worth? Maybe I do. I gain 1 point if I stay there, but I gain what if I get the temple majority? What does temple majority give us at endgame? Anything?
First player. which will count as one moon shard of your choice.
Which would be the same as if I don't take Temple Majority. But it would deprive you of that piece. So if it's the same either way, maybe the right play is
Violence.
always violence. Beginning of your turn, you may hit one of your kin to gain a lantern. Kin, gain a lantern.
Oh, pardon me. I meant to do this. At the beginning of my turn, discard this for a victory point for each glyph, including this one. So four favor points, please.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got my lantern.
At the beginning of your turn, you may spend a scroll to cloak one of your unveiled kin. I could have done this. I could have made it a non-question for you.
Oh.
Well, I didn't get these scrolls until this last turn, so that's fine.
Right, you'd have to do things in a different order to have gotten there. But...
No, I don't think I could have even gotten there, to be honest. So
now, I think I still have to go in here, even though it's going to cost me a third token. No, I gain another token though to replace it, so that's perfectly fine actually. So this actually works out maybe even better than I thought by a point. Because like that's what we're down to. So I spend a gold, I gain that.
You're going to discard the last event, or it's not going to affect either of us, but
Then we'll just get rid of it.
and then you have the mentor action if you want.
And I do have the mentor action.
It's not gonna do anything for you.
Yeah, I don't think there isn't a single guy that gives you like victory at the end game, does it?
Well, no, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I guess that's an interesting question.
Let's just look at what guys we have available. So, it would have to be somebody that passively is just worth a point for having him.
I mean, I guess I could look through your guys and see what you have here. And just
Counselor, if you're the first in the capital track, gain 3 favor points, otherwise gain 2 scrolls. That's an interesting one. No, there are no kin that give you endpoint conditions, in-game conditions. So, yeah, I'm not going to bother with the effect then because that has no bearing on victory.
Okay.
We are now at endgame.
So first we do the nighttime.
Right after the third, first we do the nighttime.
So no resolutions here. We each score 4 favor points, and I win tiebreaker to gain an orange moon shard. You gain 2 favor points and an orange moon shard. No reward here. No reward here. That's very interesting. I
was literally just trying to grind this by knocking my own guys out with my ability.
Yeah. 1 lantern and a purple moon shard. And then I gain 1 coin and a purple moon shard. Okay, then here we get 1 favor point per person, which I have 3 and you have 4, I believe. So
Yep.
4 favor points for you and 3 for me. We each gain a moon shard of our choice. I'm going to take purple.
Might as well make it orange. I don't think it's going to matter because there's not another one coming, right?
Well, you've gained that, so that's worth 1 for you.
And that's worth a wild, actually.
Yes.
So I can put that with that.
That's why you're going to win.
You think?
Oh,
We're really close, and I think
No.
that was the right play
You've
to
got-
keep you from getting too much of a lead
You've
there.
got a full moon shard set ahead of me, so I don't think it's going to be enough.
Okay.
And then with that, we're now at endgame.
Okay. So, right after the third nighttime phase, the game is over. Final scoring takes place. Players score additional favor points following the following conditions. For each set of 3 moon shards of the same color, score 9 favor points.
36.
36. Okay. And see, I've got mathing in my head poorly.
45.
And this counts as a set as
And that
well.
puts you at 79.
Okay. For each set of 3 moon shards of a different color, score 6 favor points.
Didn't do that.
For each moon shard that's unmatched, score 1.
1 for me.
And for each set of 3 resources, even of different kinds, score 3 favor points. 3?
Yep.
Oh, it's 3 for 3.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And players with the most favor points wins.
You won by 2 points.
Tiebreaker is here if there was a tie. That is really, really close.
Yes, it is. Very close.
I am super happy with this game. This was a fun game. And like I said, balance on a 2-player game does not always work out. I think it does in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very close. I think, you know, like I said, I mean, definitely advantage obviously in getting your guys upgraded, which is fine. I
Right.
don't feel like I didn't feel bad for not having them upgraded necessarily. I still felt like I was getting good economy. These were the most wasted cards in my entire game.
Right. I think buying some specifically for their favor was a
Would've
good
been
play
valuable.
mid-game.
Yeah, and I would have, you know, I got these thinking, okay, they're good abilities, right? But the problem is, A, forgetting about them, and B, never having the currency to pay for them.
Right.
So,
Yeah, see, that was my thing. It's like, this was really good because it gave me a source of spark, but I had to get a guy off the board to do it, which meant I was maybe giving up majority in a particular section.
right.
And so it was a real balance of, do I need that spark or do I ride and let that and try to gain that majority there? And that wasn't always an easy decision. It's deceptively.
That first round when I got all of the resources, I had 5 out of 6 controlled, and I got all that stuff. I'm like, okay, that's a good result.
I
for
felt
me.
like I made a big mistake that round.
Yeah,
And then,
well, but you corrected, and it didn't punish you.
Right.
Right. So just because you didn't do it that turn, you learned a valuable lesson, and the game gave you the opportunity to correct for it.
Right.
So it's not like once you were behind, you were always behind, which is good. Again, I think having only 2 players to think about strategies is a little easier. Once you start getting 3 or 4 players, you're really having to think. It's like, wait a minute now, who's going for what, and how do I balance against what they're doing to find the right
And you know,
play?
as a 2-player game, I felt like we were both kind of doing a tug of war in all of the sections.
Yes.
Where I kind of have a gut feeling that in a 4-player game, you're going to have different players strategizing on different strong points.
Yeah.
You're not going to have everybody just kind of like doing the Jack of Trades thing. You're going to have tug of war on opposite sides of the table. One person's going to be focusing on trying to get stronger people. Another person's going to be focusing on trying to maintain position and then winning majorities. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very different game as a 4-player game.
Yep, I agree. Well, there you have it, kids. Ryozen. A little bit of a misstep thinking that we were going to have 4 players here, but it's not bad as a 2-player game either. So we really had a good time with it, learning it. And now when those other 2 fools come in and play, we're just going to stomp them. Nah, they'll watch this video, I'm sure, and they'll find all of our mistakes.
Absolutely, every minute they're going to go slow motion.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they're going to know, and they're going to say, "Hey, wait a minute, your cheat counter wasn't correct. It should have been a 2." But anyway, knowing all that, thanks for hanging out with us and watching the game. Appreciate you being here. Tomorrow night, I think we're back on for Mechs vs. Minions, so watch out for that. And Tuesday night, we're going to put Dungeon Cart back on the table. We're going to get another round of that in. Hopefully, we'll get some more players in there and have some fun slinging enemies at each other and avoiding obstacles all the while.
Welcome to Rerun August.
Until then, see you guys tomorrow.